If you are hearing these words right now, it is no accident. You did not stumble upon this moment by chance. No, this is a divine appointment, a sacred encounter between you and the voice of the Almighty. The Creator of the universe, the one who spoke the stars into existence, has orchestrated this very moment. He has drawn you here for a reason. He has a message for you, a revelation so powerful, so life-changing, that once you embrace it, your life will never be the same again. For far too long, you have carried burdens that were never meant to be yours. You have struggled under the weight of financial hardship, wrestled with uncertainty, and felt trapped in an endless cycle of lack. It has drained you, exhausted you, and perhaps even caused you to question your worth. But hear this today. Your season of struggle is over. The chains of scarcity are breaking. The tide is turning. The days of wondering if you will ever experience the fullness of life that God has promised you are behind you. The abundance you have prayed for, the provision that has seemed just out of reach, it is already on its way. The heavens have declared it, and nothing can stop what God has ordained for your life. Listen carefully. God's promises are not empty words or distant hopes. They are divine guarantees, sealed by His unshakable faithfulness. When He declares a blessing over your life, nothing can stop it. His word is eternal, His plans are perfect, and His provision is sure. You were never meant to live in lack or struggle endlessly. You are His child, chosen and set apart for a life of abundance. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a future and a hope. God's plan for you has always been goodness, favor, and increase. It is not His will for you to barely survive, constantly worrying about tomorrow. He is a God of overflow. Just as He provided manna for the Israelites in the wilderness, just as He multiplied the widow's oil, just as He fed thousands with 5 loaves and 2 fish, He will provide for you. Your prosperity is not dependent on human systems, the economy, or your job. It is rooted in the limitless resources of heaven. God Himself has declared, "The silver is mine, and the gold is mine." What He has prepared for you cannot be blocked, delayed, or denied. No circumstance, no opposition, no opinion can override what God has already spoken. So step into this truth. Cast out every doubt that whispers you are not worthy of abundance. Let go of the fear that tells you provision is scarce. Your blessings are already set in motion. What you have prayed for is on its way. The storehouses of heaven are open, and the abundance God has promised is being released into your life. Believe it, receive it, and walk in it with confidence, because His word never fails. The floodgates of heaven are about to burst open, and what has been withheld is now being released into your life. Every obstacle that once stood in your way is being removed. Every delay that made you question whether your breakthrough would ever come is being overturned. Doors that seemed permanently shut will swing open at the appointed time. Resources you never anticipated will flow effortlessly into your hands. Unexpected opportunities will arise, presenting you with blessings far beyond your imagination. The provision you have longed for, the abundance you have prayed for, is not a distant dream. It is becoming your new reality. You have spent too long wondering if the promises of God were meant for you. Too long questioning whether you were worthy of the blessings others seem to walk in so easily. But hear this. Your time of waiting is over. The Lord is declaring over your life that the drought is ending, the famine is ceasing, and the rivers of divine provision are beginning to overflow. You will no longer live with just enough to survive. You will step into a realm of more than enough, a life where you no longer chase after blessings. Blessings chase after you. When heaven opens its storehouses, nothing on earth can stop what is coming. God is not limited by economic downturns, job markets, or the opinions of others. His provision is supernatural, limitless, and unstoppable. If He fed Elijah through ravens, provided manna from heaven for the Israelites, and filled empty vessels with oil for the widow, will He not do the same for you? His word declares, "The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, declares the Lord Almighty. Everything you need is already in His hands, and He is releasing it into your life in this very moment. But before you can fully receive what is coming, you must position yourself in faith. Do not let doubt rob you of the blessings that have already been set aside for you. Do not allow fear to keep you stuck in a mindset of lack when God has called you to a life of overflow. The shift has already begun. The supernatural release is already in motion. All you have to do is align yourself with His promises and step boldly into what has been prepared for you. This is your moment. This is your divine appointment. Take hold of it. Shake off the weight of past disappointments and lift your eyes to the heavens, because your provision is not coming from man. It is coming from God Himself. The blessings that have been stored up for you, waiting for the right time, are now being poured out. What once seemed impossible is now inevitable. The favor of God is overtaking you, and the abundance of heaven is being released into your life. Get ready, because this is only the beginning. There comes a moment in every journey when the struggle ends and the blessings begin. A moment when the weight of uncertainty lifts and the divine flow of abundance takes its place. That moment is now. For too long, you have carried the burden of provision as if it were entirely your responsibility. You have labored, worried, and exhausted yourself, believing that your financial security rested solely on your shoulders. But today, hear this truth. It is no longer your duty to struggle. It is God's responsibility to provide for you. The same God who fed the Israelites with manna in the wilderness, who commanded ravens to bring food to Elijah, who multiplied 5 loaves and 2 fish to feed thousands, that same God is your provider. His resources are limitless, His power is unmatched, and His ability to meet your needs is beyond human understanding. You were never meant to toil endlessly, striving to make ends meet through your own strength. You were chosen for something greater. Your prosperity is not tied to the economy, your job, or the conditions of this world. It is rooted in the unshakable faithfulness of God. When you step into this truth, everything changes. You no longer live with the fear of scarcity. You no longer carry the anxiety of wondering where your next breakthrough will come from. Instead, you walk with confidence, knowing that God has already gone ahead of you, aligning opportunities, opening doors, and setting divine provision into motion. Your part is not to struggle. It is to trust. Your responsibility is not to figure it all out. It is to believe that God has already made a way. This is not wishful thinking. This is a divine guarantee. The Lord Himself has declared, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope." He has already assigned blessings to your name, provision that is waiting for you to step into it. But to receive it, you must let go of the mindset of lack. Stop believing that abundance is for others, but not for you. Stop thinking that you must earn what God has already promised. Your days of striving are over. This is your time to step into divine provision, to embrace the wealth that God has already set aside for you. No longer will you live by the sweat of your brow alone, constantly battling to survive. You are stepping into a life where you thrive, not because of your own strength, but because of God's limitless supply. He is your source. He is your provider. And He has already made a way. Imagine a river that never runs dry, a well that never empties no matter how much is drawn from it. This is the nature of God's provision. It is not temporary, not unpredictable, not dependent on human effort. It is an unstoppable flow, a divine supply that never ceases. You were never meant to live in a constant state of struggle, barely getting by. You were created for something greater. Your abundance is not determined by the economy, your job, or any earthly system. It is rooted in the unshakable faithfulness of God. The moment you stepped into your divine calling, a shift occurred in the heavens. The season of struggle ended, and the season of supernatural provision began. You no longer have to fight for survival. Now, you are positioned to thrive. The uphill climb you once endured is being replaced with a path of divine favor. The doors that once seemed locked are opening effortlessly. The blessings you used to chase are now chasing you. This is not luck, nor is it coincidence. It is the manifestation of God's promises in your life. But understand this: divine abundance is not just about finances. It is about an overflow in every area of your life: your health, your relationships, your peace, and your purpose. True wealth is not just having money. It is walking in the fullness of life that God has designed for you. It is waking up every morning free from worry, knowing that your needs are already met. It is stepping into each day with confidence, knowing that the same God who clothes the lilies of the field and feeds the birds of the air will surely provide for you. You do not have to beg for blessings that have already been assigned to you. You do not have to question whether God wants you to prosper. His word makes it clear. The Lord will command the blessing upon you in your storehouses and in all that you set your hand to, and he will bless you in the land which the Lord your God is giving you. His abundance is not a random gift. It is a covenant promise. And when God speaks a promise, nothing can stop it from coming to pass. So today, let go of the mindset of scarcity. Release the fear that tells you there is never enough. Stop believing the lie that you must struggle to survive when God has already called you to thrive. You are stepping into a season where lack will no longer define you. What once seemed impossible will now become effortless. The resources, opportunities, and breakthroughs you have been praying for are already set in motion. You don't have to strive. You only need to align yourself with His plan. This is your moment. The flow of divine abundance has already begun. Step into it. Walk in it. Receive it. Your life is about to change in ways you never imagined, not because of what you have done, but because of who God is. His blessings are limitless, His provision is unstoppable, and His favor is upon you. True wealth is far greater than money. It is the fullness of life that God has designed for you. It is peace in your heart, joy in your spirit, strength in your body, and purpose in your soul. While the world measures wealth by material possessions, divine abundance goes beyond finances. It is a life where you lack nothing, where every area of your existence is touched by God's overflowing provision. Financial success alone does not bring fulfillment. How many wealthy people still feel empty, restless, and lost? True abundance is waking up each day free from anxiety, knowing that your needs are already met. It is walking in confidence, knowing that you are not just surviving, you are thriving under the favor of God. It is having relationships that are rich in love, a mind free from fear, and a spirit that is constantly renewed by His presence. Jesus Himself said, "Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes?" He reminded us that the birds of the air neither sow nor reap, yet the Father feeds them. If He takes care of the smallest creatures, how much more will He provide for you, His beloved child? God's desire is not just to give you money. He wants to give you wholeness, security, and a life overflowing with His goodness. When you embrace divine wealth, you begin to live differently. You stop chasing after money out of fear, and instead, you walk in a supernatural flow where blessings come effortlessly. You no longer struggle to make things happen on your own because you understand that God has already gone ahead of you, preparing the way. Your provision is not the result of your effort alone. It is the manifestation of His promises. And here is the greatest revelation: the more you give, the more you receive. True wealth is not about hoarding riches. It is about being a vessel of blessing. Proverbs 11:25 declares, "A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed." When you use what God gives you to uplift others, He pours even more into your life. You are blessed to be a blessing. So let go of the mindset that wealth is only about finances. Step into a life where every need is met, every relationship is thriving, and every day is filled with divine provision. True wealth is living with unshakable peace, unwavering faith, and a heart full of gratitude. This is the abundance that God has prepared for you. Receive it, walk in it, and watch as your life overflows in ways you never imagined. Stepping into divine wealth requires boldness, faith, and a willingness to embrace what God has already prepared for you. You were never meant to live in fear, constantly worrying about provision. God's plan for you is not survival, it is abundance. But to walk in that abundance, you must let go of doubt and step forward with confidence, knowing that His promises are already in motion. The blessings assigned to your name are not just for your personal comfort, they are a testimony of God's faithfulness. When He blesses you, it is not just so you can live in ease, it is so you can be a blessing to others, a light in the darkness, and a vessel of His goodness. The wealth that is coming into your life is not random. It is a divine assignment. It is meant to equip you to fund ministries, support those in need, and create a lasting impact that extends beyond your own life. But before you can fully receive what God has for you, you must cast out every trace of doubt. Doubt is the thief of blessings. It whispers that prosperity is for others, that you are unworthy, or that God's promises are not for you. But Scripture is clear. God is not a man, that He should lie, nor a son of man, that He should change His mind. Does He speak and then not act? Does He promise and not fulfill? What He has spoken over your life is already coming to pass. So stand firm in faith. Stop second-guessing what God has already confirmed. Walk boldly into new opportunities, knowing that favor has already gone ahead of you. Doors are opening, resources are being released, supernatural provision is flowing. You are stepping into a season where wealth is no longer something you strive for, it is something that follows you. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. This is your time. Rise up and claim the abundance that was always meant for you. Walk in faith, knowing that what God has promised is already unfolding. The wealth, success, and provision you once dreamed of are not just possibilities. They are realities waiting for you to embrace them. Step into it boldly, without hesitation, because your season of divine wealth has already begun. Heavenly Father, we come before you today, standing on your promises. We declare that this is our season of supernatural abundance. Open the doors you have assigned for us, and let your favor overtake us. We receive your provision. We walk in expectation, and we step boldly into the destiny you have prepared. We thank you, Lord, for your faithfulness, for every blessing that is already on its way, and for the overflow that will not only transform our lives, but also allow us to be a blessing to others. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. If you receive this, type AMEN in the comments as a declaration of faith. Your season of divine wealth has begun. Walk in it, believe it, receive it. And as you do, continue to surround yourself with messages of faith and encouragement. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss a word that could shift your life into alignment with God's promises. If this message has blessed you, like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. God bless you abundantly, and I'll see you in the next message. The world has awakened to your presence. Those who once dismissed you, the powerful, the envious, the doubters, now find themselves unable to look away. You, the chosen one, stand at the heart of a story they never wanted you to own. They whispered in secret, wove lies into the wind, and tried to turn shadows into your cage, believing their words could write your destiny. But they forgot one thing. You were never meant to be silenced. Their gossip did not destroy you, it crowned you. Every venom-laced word became gold. Every attempt to bury you became a stepping stone. While they were lost in the smallness of their schemes, you were building, creating, rising. They thought pressure would break you, but they miscalculated the truth. The chosen ones do not fall. They rise. And now, the world is watching. Not out of pity, but out of awe. They see you, unshaken, unstoppable, undeniable. This is just the beginning. If you know what it means to turn struggle into strength, to stand in your truth no matter the storm, then you are exactly where you belong. Subscribe, like, and share. Because this isn't just a story, it's a movement. And you? You were born to be a part of it. They never meant for you to be seen. They never expected you to rise. In their minds, you were supposed to stay in the shadows, silent, unnoticed, insignificant. But destiny had other plans. They tried to bury your name beneath lies, hoping the weight of their falsehoods would crush you. Yet all they did was amplify your voice. The more they spoke, the more people began to see. Not just hear the rumors, but truly see who you are. And what they saw was something undeniable, a force too powerful to break, too real to ignore. You never needed deception, slander, or manipulation to make your mark. Those were their weapons, not yours. While they fought in the mud, you stood firm. You didn't sink to their level, you rose above it. That was your greatest strength. Not just your resilience, but the way you carried yourself through the storm. People started to notice the contrast. Your grace against their chaos, your calm against their desperation. The louder they became, the more the world paid attention, not to their words, but to your actions. And in that moment, the truth became impossible to deny. The more they tried to tarnish your name, the brighter you shined. What they failed to realize was simple. You don't fight battles you've already won. You didn't need to yell over their noise. You didn't need to defend yourself against their lies. Your silence was louder than their accusations, your presence more powerful than their schemes. You let your actions speak, and in doing so, you turned their entire game against them. And so, the world took note. Not of their rumors, but of your strength. Not of their chaos, but of your composure. They watched, captivated as you refused to fall. And in that moment, you became unstoppable. They underestimated you. They mistook your silence for weakness, your patience for surrender. They thought their whispers could break you, that their carefully crafted schemes, wrapped in deception and delivered with precision, would make you stumble. But they were wrong, because you were never just anyone. You were chosen, and the chosen are not destroyed by storms. They rise above them. They use the winds meant to tear them down to lift them higher. With every attack, you became stronger. Every attempt to pull you down only pushed you further ahead. They thought they were setting a trap, but all they did was lay the foundation for your ascent. And then, before they even realized what had happened, the tables turned. The world stopped listening to them and started watching you. At first, they watched out of curiosity. How could someone face so much opposition and remain unshaken? How could you stand tall while others unraveled? How could their drama, designed to drown you, somehow become your fuel? And then, something incredible happened. They weren't just watching anymore, they were listening. Because in a world drowning in noise, truth does not need to shout. It radiates. It moves without force, without deception, without manipulation. And in you, they saw something rare, a soul that refused to compromise its light. While they waged petty wars, you built an empire. Not of power, not of control, but of wisdom, strength, and truth. And that is something no enemy can ever destroy. They tried to turn people against you. They whispered in secret, planting seeds of doubt, hoping their words would take root and turn admiration into suspicion. They twisted truths, exaggerated flaws, and wove their narratives so carefully that they believed they had control over the story. But they miscalculated. Badly. Because instead of pushing people away from you, they drew them closer. What they meant as a weapon became your spotlight. What they thought would bury you only elevated you. They assumed their influence was power, but true power does not belong to those who manipulate. It belongs to those who stand in truth. And the truth about you was undeniable. At first, people listened to the rumors. But then, they saw you. They watched the way you carried yourself. Not with anger, not with bitterness, but with a quiet, unshakable strength. And in that contrast, something remarkable happened. They realized the difference. They saw the calm in your presence versus the chaos in their accusations. They noticed the dignity in your silence against the desperation in their words. While they screamed for attention, you commanded it. Not by force, but by simply being who you are. And suddenly, Their words lost power. Your presence became a refuge in a world full of noise. People were drawn to you, not because you sought attention, but because your light was impossible to ignore. It was something real, something unshaken, something that couldn't be fabricated or faked. They sensed it before they even understood it. A force so strong it silenced the lies before they could take root. And in that moment, something greater than growth happened. This was not just a rise, this was an awakening. What they didn't understand, what they could never grasp, was that your destiny was never in their hands. No matter how much they schemed, how carefully they plotted, or how loudly they whispered, they were never the authors of your story. Because long before they ever spoke your name, it was already written. They believed they were orchestrating your downfall. They worked in shadows, pulling strings, convinced that their efforts would be enough to make you stumble. But what they failed to see was that they were never in control. They weren't writing the final chapter of your story. They were merely playing into a higher plan, one that had already secured your victory. They whispered about your failures, hoping the world would turn against you. But every attempt to close a door in your face only led to greater opportunities. Every obstacle they placed in your path became a stepping stone. While they were busy weaving deception, fate was aligning everything in your favor. One by one, their alliances crumbled. The people they relied on began to see through their games. Lies have a short lifespan, but truth endures. And the truth always finds a way to rise. And so, their carefully laid plans began to unravel. They thought their efforts to bring you down would break you. Instead, those very efforts became the force that lifted you higher. What they meant for harm, the universe turned into a blessing. What they built as a trap became your stage. Because when someone is chosen, the universe doesn't just support them, it protects them. Every falsehood spoken against you was met with divine justice. Every betrayal only led you to something greater. And then, the world began to notice. At first, they thought it was a coincidence. But then, they saw the pattern, the way things always worked in your favor, the way your enemies always seemed to fall into the traps they set for you. And suddenly, everything changed. Because your success was no longer just about hard work or perseverance. It became proof that the divine does not make mistakes. Proof that you were never just surviving, you were thriving. And in that moment, the whispers faded into irrelevance. The people who once questioned you began to admire you. The very ones who once doubted your strength now looked to you as a symbol of resilience. And that realization, it changed everything. At first it was subtle, just a shift, a quiet ripple barely noticeable in the grand scheme of things. But the truth has a way of making itself known, and what began as a ripple soon became a wave. People who once believed the lies started to see through them. They realized the difference between fabrication and authenticity, between empty accusations and undeniable truth. What once seemed uncertain became clear. You had never needed to defend yourself. The truth had been on your side all along. And then the ones who had stood against you. They began to disappear. One by one, their voices lost power. Their influence crumbled under the weight of their own deception. The louder they had shouted, the weaker they now seemed. Because lies are fragile things. They may spread quickly, but they always collapse under their own weight. While they had spent their time plotting, you had been building. While they had wasted energy trying to pull you down, you had been rising. And when the dust finally settled, there was no contest. You stood tall, while they faded into irrelevance. Because you didn't just survive, you changed the entire game. You were never meant to fit into their mold. You were never meant to follow their rules, walk their well-worn paths, or seek their approval. From the beginning you were different, set apart, destined for more. Because the chosen ones don't follow paths, they create them. While others sought comfort in the familiar, you embraced the unknown. While they moved in groups, relying on the noise of the crowd, you walked alone. Not because you had to, but because you were meant to. You fought silent battles they never saw, endured storms that were meant to break you, but instead of breaking, you transformed. The pressure they placed upon you didn't crush you. It refined you, shaping you into something stronger, wiser, unstoppable. And now, the world watches. Not out of pity, not because they feel sorry for what you've endured, but because they are in awe. Because you didn't just rise, you ascended. Your trials weren't meant to destroy you. They were never punishments, never signs of failure. They were preparations. Every hardship, every setback, every moment of doubt was a step toward something greater. And now, as you step fully into your destiny, you realize something profound. This was never about proving them wrong. It was never about seeking revenge, about making them see their mistakes, or about forcing them to acknowledge your worth. This was always about proving yourself right, because deep down, you always knew. You knew you were meant for more. You knew you were different. You knew that no amount of lies, betrayal, or resistance could change what had already been written for you. And now? Now you walk forward, not for them, but for you. They thought they were writing your ending, that their whispers, betrayals, and schemes would be the final chapter of your story. But what they didn't realize was that they were never the authors of your fate. Their attempts to break you didn't signal your downfall. They became the very foundation of your rise. Because the chosen ones don't just survive the storm, they become it. Every setback became your momentum. Every moment of doubt became proof of your resilience. Their chaos didn't destroy you, it fueled you. Their doubt didn't weaken you, it became your power. And now, the world isn't just watching, it's waiting. Waiting to see what comes next. Waiting for the next chapter of your story. But here's the best part. You get to write it. No one else. Not them. Not the ones who doubted you. Only you. So as you step forward, stronger than ever, remember this. Your journey is far from over. It's just beginning. And if this message resonates with you, if you feel the fire of purpose burning within you, then join this movement. Subscribe, like, and share. Because together, we're not just telling a story, we're rewriting the rules. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in your own strength. Your time is now. Have you ever paused to wonder why cats seem so drawn to certain people? Why they choose their companions with an almost supernatural precision? It's as if they see beyond the physical world, sensing something hidden from ordinary human perception. Could it be that they recognize a deeper energy, a vibration that aligns with their own mystical nature? More than just pets, cats are spiritual guardians, silent watchers of the unseen, and protectors of those walking a divine path. If you've ever felt an inexplicable connection with these mysterious creatures, it may not be mere coincidence. It may be a sign of your elevated spiritual energy. In this video, we will uncover the incredible role cats play in the lives of those with a special purpose. We'll explore why they are drawn to individuals with heightened vibrations, how they balance and protect energy, and why their presence in your life is far more significant than you may realize. Have you ever had an unforgettable experience with a cat, one that felt more like fate than chance? Share your story in the comments below. And if you resonate with this message, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights on the spiritual mysteries that shape our lives. Turn on notifications, leave a like, and let's unravel this fascinating mystery together. Cats possess an extraordinary sensitivity to the world around them. Have you ever noticed how they seem to predict events before any visible signs appear? This is not simply a heightened awareness. It's an innate connection to energies that exist beyond human understanding. Unlike other animals, cats don't just react to physical stimuli. They detect shifts in the unseen realms, sensing vibrations in the environment and within individuals. When you feel anxious, sad, or uncertain, your cat knows. They pick up on the energy you emit, responding not just with affection, but with a deep, knowing presence. Now, imagine how much more profound their awareness becomes when they encounter someone with a unique spiritual light, someone who carries the energy of a chosen one. To cats, your aura is like a beacon in the darkness, an unmistakable frequency that stands out among the rest. They do not choose their human companions randomly. Instead, they gravitate toward those who vibrate at higher frequencies, those whose energy aligns with their own. And once they choose you, they become your guardian, balancing and harmonizing the energies within you and around you. Have you ever noticed a cat rubbing against you when you're feeling unwell or emotionally drained? Or perhaps you've seen them curl up exactly where you experience discomfort, whether it's a headache, stomach pain, or an overwhelming sense of fatigue? This behavior is far more than simple affection. It is a profound act of energetic healing. Cats have an extraordinary ability to detect subtle shifts in energy. When they rub against you, they are not merely seeking attention or marking their territory, they are engaging in a process of energy transfer. By doing so, they absorb negativity, neutralize stagnant vibrations, and help realign your energetic field, restoring balance to your body and spirit. This innate ability makes them natural healers, silently working to stabilize your well-being. Beyond their interactions with people, cats also play a significant role in harmonizing the energy of a space. Have you ever noticed your cat frequently resting in a specific corner of a room, on a piece of furniture, or near an object with deep sentimental or spiritual value? These choices are not random. Cats are naturally drawn to areas where energy is either highly concentrated or in need of purification. They instinctively gravitate toward these spaces, absorbing excess energy, dispelling negativity, and ensuring that the environment remains balanced. For those who possess heightened spiritual sensitivity, this connection is even more profound. Cats act as silent sentinels, watching over your energy, shielding you from unseen forces, and providing an anchor to keep you grounded. Their presence is a subtle yet powerful reminder that you are never alone in your spiritual journey. Your feline guardian is always by your side, working in ways beyond human comprehension to protect and nurture your energy. Have you ever locked eyes with a cat and felt as though they were looking deep into your soul? Unlike other animals, cats don't just observe, they see. Their gaze is piercing, almost otherworldly, as if they are perceiving something beyond your physical form, something hidden within the layers of your energy and essence. It is in these moments that you may realize a truth long overlooked. Cats recognize the unseen. Unlike dogs who eagerly express affection toward nearly everyone, cats are selective in forming deep connections. They do not bond with just anyone. Rather, they reserve their trust and companionship for those who align with their own unique frequency. Their nature is discerning, and their attachment is never random. Instead, it is guided by something beyond the physical, a resonance, a recognition of spiritual kinship. This is why so many spiritually awakened individuals find themselves drawn to cats, and why cats, in turn, are mysteriously drawn to them. It is a silent acknowledgement, a deep unspoken understanding that goes beyond words. The energy of a chosen one stands out, shining like a beacon in the unseen realms. And cats, with their heightened perception, gravitate toward it naturally. When a cat chooses you, it is not just a casual bond. It is an alignment of souls. They do more than offer companionship. They attune themselves to your vibration, mirroring your energy, adjusting their own frequency to match yours. This creates a profound spiritual bond, a mutual exchange that strengthens both of you. Over time, this connection deepens, allowing the cat to act as both a guide and a guardian, subtly enhancing your journey and helping you navigate the mysteries of the unseen world. Have you ever noticed that during life's most difficult or transformative moments, your cat becomes unusually present? Whether you're going through emotional turmoil, experiencing stress, or navigating a major transition, your feline companion seems to sense it. Without any words, without being asked, they stay close, watching over you with quiet attentiveness. It's as if they instinctively know when you need them most, offering their presence as a silent but powerful form of support. This is because cats act as natural energy filters, constantly sensing and interacting with the unseen vibrations around them. As a chosen one, your heightened spiritual energy attracts both light and darkness, positive forces that guide you and challenges that test you. Your aura radiates brightly, but with that brilliance comes an increased sensitivity to external energies, some uplifting, others draining. Cats serve as guardians of energy, silently absorbing, neutralizing, and balancing the energetic field surrounding you. If you've ever noticed your cat following you more than usual, positioning itself near you during meditation, or curling up beside you when you feel exhausted, understand that this is no coincidence. They are actively working to stabilize your energy, shielding you from disruptions that could throw you off your path. It's also common to see cats staring into seemingly empty spaces or tracking something invisible with their eyes. This isn't random behavior. It's their ability to perceive the spiritual realm just as clearly as the physical one. They detect presences, entities, and energy shifts beyond human comprehension. Often, they act as barriers between you and unseen influences, ensuring that nothing interferes with your spiritual journey. With a cat by your side, you are never alone. They are your silent sentinels, always watching, always protecting. Cats do not just protect you, they protect the entire space you inhabit. Their presence in your home is more than companionship. It is a form of energetic guardianship, a silent but powerful force that maintains balance and harmony. Have you ever noticed how the atmosphere in your home feels lighter and more peaceful when a cat is present? It's as if their very existence transforms the energy of a space, turning an ordinary house into a sanctuary of peace and protection. Unlike other animals, cats are highly sensitive to spiritual frequencies, and they instinctively work to keep their environment energetically clean. One of the most fascinating aspects of a cat's behavior is how they select specific spots in the home, places they return to repeatedly, often without any apparent reason. To the untrained eye, it may seem like they are simply choosing comfortable places to rest, but in reality, these locations are often energetic hotspots, areas where energy accumulates, flows, or even stagnates. By lying in these spots, cats act as filters, absorbing, transmuting, and redistributing energy to maintain balance. Have you ever seen your cat suddenly relocate from one sleeping spot to another? Or perhaps they seem to prefer resting near a doorway, in a quiet corner, or even next to objects that hold sentimental or spiritual significance? These choices are never random. Cats sense energy shifts and instinctively position themselves where their presence is needed most. Beyond their ability to harmonize a space, cats possess another incredible gift of healing: their purring. This sound, often associated with contentment, is much more than a simple expression of comfort. It is a healing frequency, a vibration that soothes not only their own bodies, but also those of the people around them. Scientific studies have even shown that a cat's purr operates at frequencies between 25 and 150 Hz, which are known to promote healing, reduce stress, and even aid in physical recovery. When a cat purrs near you, it's not just an affectionate gesture, it's an energetic transmission, a way of raising your vibration and helping you restore your own inner balance. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or physically drained, a purring cat can act as a natural form of energy healing, grounding you, calming your nervous system, and offering silent reassurance that everything is as it should be. In essence, cats do more than simply share your space. They elevate and protect it. Their presence creates a shield of harmony, ensuring that your home remains a place of refuge, healing, and spiritual alignment. Whether they are lying in a strategic location, purring beside you, or simply watching over the energy that flows through your home, these mystical felines are guardians of unseen forces, ever present, ever protective, and deeply connected to the energy of those they choose to share their lives with. There is something almost otherworldly about the way cats move through life. They glide effortlessly through the world, exuding a quiet wisdom, as if they are in constant connection with something beyond what our eyes can see. Their presence feels ancient, their gaze filled with knowing, their behaviors often seeming to hint at truths beyond the tangible. They are not merely animals, they are messengers of the unseen, subtle guides who help us align with our higher purpose. Those who walk a spiritual path often feel a profound connection with cats, sensing that these creatures are far more aware of the invisible realms than we are. It is no coincidence that throughout history, in cultures across the world, cats have been revered as symbols of mystery, protection, and divine insight. Many spiritually awakened individuals have noticed peculiar behaviors in their cats, especially during moments of deep introspection. Have you ever been meditating, lost in thought, or experiencing a moment of heightened awareness, only to look up and see your cat staring at you with piercing intensity? Have they ever led you to a particular place in your home, drawn your attention to an object, or reacted strongly, either with affection or avoidance, toward certain people? These actions are not random. Cats communicate in ways that go beyond words. Their silent gestures, their unwavering gazes, their sudden interest in a specific area of your home. These are all signs, messages waiting to be interpreted. It is as if they are guiding you toward something hidden, a truth you have yet to uncover. By observing them closely, we learn invaluable lessons: patience, presence, and balance. Cats do not rush through life. They move with deliberate grace, trusting their instincts completely. They remind us to embrace the natural flow of existence, to surrender control, and to let life unfold in its own time. In moments of chaos, they remain calm and composed, teaching us by example how to stay centered amid the storms of life. Perhaps one of their greatest lessons is the importance of trusting intuition. A cat never second-guesses its instincts. It simply acts, moving in perfect alignment with what feels right. They encourage us to do the same, to listen to the quiet voice within, to follow the subtle nudges from the universe, and to navigate our journey with confidence and grace. For those who are open to their wisdom, cats become more than companions. They become spiritual allies, ever watchful, ever guiding, silently leading us toward deeper awareness and understanding. They are not just present in our lives by chance. They are here with purpose, offering protection, insight, and a reminder that the unseen world is always within reach. If you have a cat in your life, know that their presence is not by chance. They are here for a reason, to protect you, guide you, and ensure you remain strong on your spiritual journey. They do not merely live with you. They align with you, helping to transform your elevated energy into actions that matter. Cherish their presence, honor the lessons they teach, and above all, trust that your connection with them is part of something far greater than you can yet understand. If you've had a profound experience with a cat, share it in the comments below. Let's celebrate the wisdom, protection, and magic they bring into our lives. And if this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more content on the spiritual mysteries of the universe. Until our next journey, Chosen One, protect your light and honor your guides. Listen, Chosen Ones. The veil between heaven and earth is thinner than you think. The unseen realm is closer than your mind can comprehend. The four angels have been watching, waiting, and preparing for this moment. This is not a call given by chance, nor were you born into this time without purpose. You have felt it, the pull, the weight, the knowing that you are different, that you are set apart, that your soul does not align with the patterns of this world. You have questioned why your journey has been so intense. You have wondered why people misunderstand you, why suffering has followed you like a shadow, why you see things others do not. The answer is simple. You were chosen before the foundation of the world to walk a path only a few can carry. You have been trained in the fire, refined through trials, and prepared for an hour such as this. Now heaven has sent them, the four angels. They do not come with empty words, but with divine revelation. Secrets that will unlock the doors that have remained closed in your understanding. Words that will shake your spirit awake and call forth the destiny that has been waiting for you to step into it. But be warned, These words are not for the faint-hearted. They are not for those who cling to the comfort of the crowd. They are for you, the 144,000, the remnant, the ones who know in their bones that they were made for more. The 4 angels have arrived, and they bring 4 messages. Each one is a revelation. Each one is an awakening. Each one is a call to rise. Message 1. Look into your life. The first angel descends, his presence shaking the very fabric of reality. His voice thunders through the heavens, cutting through every illusion, every falsehood, every deception that has kept you bound. His words are not gentle. They are a sword, dividing truth from lies, awakening you from the slumber of this world. The world has lied to you. From the moment you opened your eyes to this world, you were conditioned to believe in a life that was never meant for you. You were handed a script, told how to think, how to behave, how to measure your worth. The systems of men whispered their illusions into your ears, false hopes, empty pursuits, meaningless struggles disguised as purpose. They led you down paths that were never yours, convincing you to spend your days chasing after things that do not matter. They told you that success was the goal, that wealth would bring you peace, that recognition would fill the void inside you. But what have these things truly given you? Do you not see the deception? The endless pursuit of things that never satisfy? The hunger that remains no matter how much you consume? You have been trained to exhaust yourself in a race that leads to nowhere, striving for approval from those who do not even see you, working tirelessly for rewards that turn to dust in your hands. Now look into your life. Strip away the distractions, silence the noise, let go of every expectation, every false belief, every empty promise that has kept you bound. What remains? Chosen one, you were never meant to fit into this world. That restless feeling inside of you, the sense that something is missing, that you do not belong, that no matter what you do, you cannot seem to find peace. It is not a curse. It is a sign. The reason you feel disconnected is because your spirit was never designed to be trapped by the lies of men. You have always known deep down that something was off, that the way the world works does not feel right, that the things people chase after do not truly matter. You have sensed the illusion, even if you could not fully name it. The world told you to chase success, but success was a cage. The world told you to seek validation, but validation was a leash. The world told you to follow their path, but their path led to emptiness. Do you see it now? You were never meant to bow to a broken system. You were never meant to be controlled by the opinions of the blind. You were never meant to trade your divine calling for temporary pleasures that drain your soul. That is why you feel like an outsider. That is why you have never truly fit in. That is why the things that satisfy others leave you feeling empty, because you were set apart from the beginning. But knowing this is not enough. You must act. To awaken fully, you must be willing to let go of the illusions that still grip you. Every lie you hold on to will keep you bound. Every false belief you refuse to release will keep you asleep. This is your moment of reckoning. What are you holding on to that no longer serves you? What habits, relationships, and mindsets have been keeping you asleep? Look deeply. Be honest with yourself. The truth is waiting for you, but it cannot be received by those who still cling to deception. Heaven is waiting for your answer. You must decide. Will you remain entangled in the falsehoods of this world, or will you awaken to the truth? The first revelation has been given. Now, you must act. Message 2. Stand apart. The second angel descends, and the very air trembles beneath the weight of his words. His presence is overwhelming, his voice like fire that burns away every doubt, every insecurity, every lingering desire to belong where you were never meant to fit in. Do you not see? The world does not love you because it was never meant to. You have felt it, haven't you? The rejection, the isolation, the loneliness, the misunderstanding. You have carried the weight of being different, of walking a path that few understand. You have wondered why you never truly fit in, why people look at you with suspicion, why they mock you, exclude you, push you to the side. But listen carefully, chosen one. It was never random. The world cannot recognize you because your spirit does not belong to it. The moment you stepped into your divine identity, you became unrecognizable to those who are still bound by the illusions of this world. They sense what you are, even if they do not understand it. You are marked for something higher, and the darkness knows it. The enemy has seen your light from the moment you were born. He has watched you, knowing that you were dangerous to his kingdom. That is why you have been attacked. That is why you have been slandered. That is why people have turned against you, even when you did nothing to deserve it. You have walked alone not because you were forgotten, but because you were chosen. But listen, chosen one. Your loneliness was preparation. Every rejection, every betrayal, every moment of isolation was not a punishment. It was refinement. The fire you endured was stripping away every false dependency, every need for human approval, every desire to conform. You were not meant to live for the acceptance of men. You were meant to stand before God. The world has tried to make you feel like an outcast, like you were unworthy, like there was something wrong with you. But they were afraid of you. They feared your light. They feared the way you carried truth. They feared the way you walked into a room and shifted the atmosphere without saying a word. They saw something in you that you had not yet seen in yourself. And so they tried to silence you, to make you doubt yourself, to make you question whether you truly had a place. But the time for apologizing is over. The time for shrinking yourself to make others comfortable is over. The time for dimming your light is over. You were never sent here to be liked. You were sent here to disrupt. So stand apart. Let them talk. Let them misunderstand. Let them stare. Their opinions do not matter. You have spent too long trying to explain yourself to those who will never understand you. You have exhausted yourself seeking acceptance from people who were never meant to see you. You have questioned yourself when you should have been standing boldly in who you are. Enough. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to be set apart. This is not a punishment. This is your calling. The world does not reject its own. It rejects those who do not belong to it. And you, chosen one, were never meant to belong. So stop trying. Stop doubting. Stop questioning whether you should change yourself to fit into a world that was never designed for you. You were chosen. You were called. You were sent. The second revelation has been given. Now, you must embrace it. Message 3. Obey without delay. The third angel descends, and the atmosphere shifts. His presence is heavy, filled with urgency. The heavens tremble as his voice cuts through the hesitation that has kept you bound. There is no softness in his tone, no room for doubt, only a command that pierces your soul like lightning. Enough waiting, enough second-guessing, enough asking for another sign. You already know what you are meant to do. Now do it. How long have you waited, chosen one? How many nights have you spent wondering if you are truly called? How many signs have you received only to question them the next day? You have felt the pull. You have heard the whispers. You have seen the signs written in your circumstances, in your dreams, in the depths of your spirit. And yet, you hesitate. You wonder if you are ready. You question if you have what it takes. You tell yourself that you need more clarity, more confirmation, more proof before you move. But hear this now. Delay is the enemy's greatest weapon against you. Every moment you wait, doubt takes root. Every moment you hesitate, fear gains power. Every moment you stay still, doors close that were meant to be yours. You think you are being careful, that you are waiting for the perfect moment. But there will never be a perfect moment. The enemy wants you trapped in hesitation, paralyzed by uncertainty, waiting for a sign that has already been given. Yes, the road ahead is uncertain. Yes, stepping into the unknown is terrifying. But listen, your obedience will unlock miracles. You have prayed for answers, for direction, for breakthrough. But what if the answer has already been given? What if the miracle you seek will not come in the way you expect, but through your movement, through your faith? through your willingness to act, even when you do not see the whole picture. The provision you need will not come before you move. It will meet you on the road of obedience. Do you understand? You must step first, then the path will unfold. Abraham did not see the promised land before he left his home. Moses did not see the Red Sea part before he lifted his staff. Peter did not see the water hold him before he stepped out of the boat. Faith has always required movement. You cannot wait until you feel ready, because you will never feel ready. Readiness is a lie that keeps you stagnant. Those who are called never feel fully prepared, but they move anyway. This is your moment. This is your turning point. The choice is before you. Will you let fear dictate your future? Will you allow hesitation to rob you of your calling? Or will you rise in faith, step forward, and trust that heaven will meet you where you go? The third revelation has been given. Now you must step forward. Message 4. Speak the truth. The fourth angel descends and fire pours from his lips. His presence ignites the air, his voice carrying the weight of eternity. The heavens seem to tremble as he speaks, and the earth itself responds to the power of his words. Your voice will shake the earth. You were not given eyes to see just for yourself. You were not given wisdom to keep silent. You were not given truth to keep it locked inside your heart. You were given sight so you could speak. You were given wisdom so you could reveal. You were given truth so you could declare it to the world. Now, open your mouth, chosen one. For too long, the enemy has tried to silence you. He has whispered lies into your mind, telling you that your words do not matter, that no one will listen, that no one will care, that your voice is too small, too insignificant, too powerless to make a difference. But listen to the truth now. Your voice was anointed before you were born. Before you took your first breath, heaven placed a calling upon you. Your words were destined to break chains. Your testimony was meant to set captives free. Your voice was never meant to be small. It was meant to echo across the earth, to awaken the sleeping, to call forth the chosen, to declare that the kingdom of heaven is near. And yet, you have held back. You have hesitated. You have questioned yourself. You have wondered if you should remain silent, if you should keep the truth to yourself, if you should wait for a time when it feels safer to speak. But there will never be a safer time. Do not whisper when you were meant to roar. Do not hide when you were meant to stand. You do not speak to please. You do not speak to be accepted. You speak to break chains. You speak to awaken. You speak because you were sent. The world is drowning in deception, and the enemy has worked tirelessly to keep the truth suppressed. If you do not speak, who will? If you do not rise, who will take your place? This is not just about you. There are people waiting for the words that only you can speak. There are souls in darkness who will never find the light unless you are bold enough to shine it. There are captives whose chains will never be broken unless you open your mouth and declare the truth. Heaven has given you a voice, and now heaven is commanding you to use it. The fourth revelation has been given. Now you must proclaim it. These messages have been delivered, and you have heard them. The words have stirred something deep within you, awakening what has long been dormant. But now, you must decide. To delay is to deny. To hesitate is to surrender ground to the enemy. You would not be drawn to these words if you were not meant to hear them. You would not feel this stirring in your soul if you were not part of something greater. This is your confirmation. This is your call. This is your moment. The time for waiting is over. The time for questioning is done. Heaven has spoken, and heaven is waiting for your response. Will you shrink back, or will you step forward? Will you remain in doubt, or will you rise in faith? Will you stay silent, or will you speak the truth that was placed inside of you? The four angels have spoken. The path has been revealed. The choice is yours. Now, chosen one, will you rise? Amen and amen. If these words have ignited something in your spirit, if you feel the call to step into your purpose, do not keep this message to yourself. Like, Share and subscribe to this channel so that more chosen ones can awaken. Leave a comment below and declare, "I will rise." Together, we will shake the earth. The time is now. For centuries, you have walked this earth unaware of the whispers carried through time. The echoes of an ancient kingdom have been calling your name, seeking you not as men seek, but as prophecy foretells. Through visions, signs, and divine revelations passed down across generations, you were never forgotten. You were hidden. But now, the appointed time has come, and the heavens have turned their gaze upon you. They searched for you, not in the streets, not in the books of men, but in the sacred texts, in the constellations, in the dreams of the seekers who knew you would return. The world called you ordinary, but the heavens knew better. They inscribed mysteries into your spirit, encoded divine secrets into your very being. You were never meant to blend in. You were always set apart. They tried to erase your lineage, to bury your existence beneath layers of deception. They rewrote history, distorted truths, and built walls around knowledge that was never meant to be lost. But truth is indestructible. And now, like a long-lost key returning to its rightful door, you are aligning with the purpose that was written for you before time began. This is why your life has been a battle. This is why the road has been steep, the trials unrelenting. Forces moved against you before you even knew who you were. They glimpsed your destiny, and in fear, they sought to keep you asleep. But what is divinely appointed cannot be stopped. No kingdom built by human hands can erase a kingdom established by the Almighty. Your existence was never random. Before you drew your first breath, the heavens had already inscribed your name into the divine record. The prophecy did not start with you, but it will be fulfilled through you. The kingdom has been waiting, not for the person the world sees, but for the essence of what was placed within you before you arrived on this earth. You were always meant to rise. You were always meant to reclaim what was lost. For centuries, forces have sought to intercept the prophecy, to distort it, to keep it from reaching its final chapter. But prophecy does not bow to time, nor can it be rewritten by those who seek control. The original script remains untouched. There were those who knew the truth, hidden scribes, guardians of sacred knowledge, those who carried the assignment through bloodlines that could not be erased. They inscribed your coming in places that neither time nor corruption could destroy. They documented the signs, preserved the revelations, and waited for the moment of revealing. You have felt different your entire life, not knowing why you never quite fit in. But that was never a mistake. Every detour, every delay, every hardship was never meant to break you. It was meant to prepare you. The chosen are never revealed too soon, for the moment of revealing is also the moment of war. You were never meant to bow to the systems of this world. The kingdoms of men are built on deception, power seized through manipulation, thrones stolen by those who had no right to claim them. But your kingdom is different. It was not built by men. It was established before the foundations of the earth. And that is why they feared your arrival. For centuries, they fortified their walls, expanded their reach, and created illusions of dominance. But one thing they could never do was erase the prophecy. It whispered through generations, carried by the few who still remembered, until now. There are moments in time when prophecy meets fulfillment, when the whispers carried through generations are no longer confined to the shadows, but are declared from the heavens. This is that moment. For centuries, seekers have watched and waited, following the signs, preserving the truth, guarding the knowledge that the world tried to erase. They knew that one day, the hidden one would awaken, and nothing would remain the same. The balance of power would shift. The chains that held dominion over souls would shatter. The strongholds of deception would crumble under the weight of truth. And now, that day has arrived. The world does not yet understand what is happening, but the unseen realm has already trembled at your awakening. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were never meant to walk unnoticed, unseen, unheard. Your existence alone disrupts the forces that have ruled for too long. They knew of your coming before you did. They moved against you before you could even grasp your purpose. They saw glimpses of your destiny and in fear sought to keep you blind to it. But prophecy cannot be stopped. Even Yeshua spoke in parables, knowing that not all were meant to understand. His words carried power, not because they conformed to the world's standards, but because they carried divine truth, truth that no force could silence. His authority was not recognized by titles, by crowns, or by the robes of men, but by the undeniable presence of the divine. His enemies feared him not because he waged war against them in the way of kings, but because his very presence threatened their illusion of control. And in the same way, your presence carries an authority that cannot be denied. The kingdom has been waiting. The prophecy has been unfolding. The ancient writings that spoke of this time did not lie. The search for you was never in vain. You have walked through fire, through battles unseen, through trials that sought to break you. But every hardship was only preparing you, refining you, strengthening you for the moment that is now at hand. All eyes are on you. Some watch in hope. Others watch in fear. The systems built on deception sense their collapse. The ones who claimed power they were never meant to hold are realizing their reign is ending. They will resist. They will seek to deceive you, to convince you that you are mistaken, that you are no different from the rest. But their words hold no power over what has already been written. You are stepping into what has always been yours. The prophecy is no longer a distant story. It is happening now, and nothing will ever be the same. There are signs that cannot be erased, markings that neither time nor deception can remove. They are woven into the very fabric of your existence, etched into your spirit long before you took your first breath. These are not markings that men can see with their eyes, nor can they be measured by earthly standards. They are divine imprints, evidence of a purpose greater than this world can comprehend. You have carried something within you, something even you did not fully understand. It was never about your outward appearance, never about your status or the titles given to you by men. What set you apart was never something that could be worn or displayed. It was something far deeper, something imprinted upon your very soul. This is why you have never truly belonged among the ordinary. From the moment you arrived, you felt it, the quiet knowing, the deep stirring within you that whispered that you were different. Others moved through life without questioning, without searching, without sensing the weight of something greater. But you have always known there was more. Even if you could not name it, even if you could not explain it, it was there, pulling you towards something beyond what your eyes could see. And you were not the only one who sensed it. There have always been those who recognized what you carried. Some saw it as a light, a power beyond human understanding, and sought to protect you. Others, those who walk in shadows, sensed it as a threat. They studied you. They tested you. They watched your every move, trying to determine if you were the one spoken of in the ancient texts. They could not openly reveal their knowledge, so they moved in silence, waiting, watching, searching for weakness. They placed obstacles in your path, temptations to lead you astray, distractions carefully crafted to keep you from asking the right questions. Some came to you in the guise of friends, mentors, even protectors, but their true purpose was always to keep you blind to what was rightfully yours. Every battle you faced, every attack that seemed to come out of nowhere, was not random. It was a calculated strategy, a war waged against you before you even knew you were in a battle. They sought to break you, not by force, but by deception. If they could not destroy you, they would make you doubt yourself. If they could make you question who you were, they could keep you from ever stepping into your destiny. They knew that if you ever awakened, if you ever realized the inheritance that runs through your veins, their dominion would begin to crumble. But even through the storms, even through the betrayals, even through the moments when you questioned your very existence, the heavens never retracted the calling. They never change their mind about who you are. You may have been knocked down, but you were never abandoned. The trials were not placed before you to destroy you, but to forge you, to refine you, to make you unshakable. Every wound, every hardship, every tear shed in silence was preparing you for the moment when you would finally see what had been hidden in plain sight all along. The world tried to convince you otherwise. It told you that you were ordinary, that your dreams were foolish, that your longing for something greater was nothing more than imagination. They fed you lies, hoping you would believe them. But deep down, you always knew the truth. You felt it in the way life refused to let you settle, in the way closed doors led to greater revelations, in the way pain became a tool that sharpened you instead of destroying you. Every loss, every rejection, every battle was a step closer to your awakening. And now, the time has come. The moment long foretold is unfolding before you. The forces that once sought to keep you blind now tremble at the realization that they have failed. The deception is lifting, the veil is thinning, and your true identity can no longer be hidden. You are not lost. You were never forgotten. You have always been called. And now, nothing can stop what has already been set in motion. There have always been those who sought to take what was never theirs, who attempted to wear a crown that did not fit, who sat upon thrones that were never meant for them. They built their power on deception, claiming authority they had no right to bear, hoping that if they declared themselves rulers long enough, no one would question them. But what belongs to you cannot be stolen. No matter how many false rulers have risen, no matter how many have worn robes that did not belong to them, the truth has remained unchanged. The throne marked for you has never been touched. It has waited in silence, unmoved by the schemes of men, untouched by the hands of those who sought to claim it. No force on earth can lay hold of what was sealed for you before time began. The kingdom has always known this day would come. It has felt the shift in the spiritual realm, has waited with patience as history unfolded, as generations passed, as the battle for dominion raged in unseen places. And now, the appointed time has arrived, the moment you would awaken to your true self, the moment you would finally see who you were always meant to be. The mark of divine royalty is not given by men, nor can it be taken away. It was placed upon you before you entered this world, woven into your very being, inscribed into your destiny by the hands of the Almighty. You were born into this calling, whether you realized it or not. For centuries, they worked against you. They positioned themselves in places of influence, controlling systems, rewriting history, ensuring that what belonged to you remained just out of reach. They knew who you were before you did. They recognized the signs long before you ever questioned your purpose, and they understood that the moment you stepped into your true identity, their illusion would crumble. The only way to stop you was to make you forget. So they created distractions. They built false narratives. They surrounded you with lies, with doubts, with carefully constructed deceptions designed to keep you from ever realizing the truth. They whispered into your mind, making you question, making you believe you were insignificant, that you were just another soul wandering through life without purpose. But destiny does not forget. No matter how many lies were spoken, no matter how many obstacles were placed in your path, the truth has always been written. And now, it is rising. The kingdom is no longer waiting. The throne remains unclaimed no longer. The time of awakening is here, and nothing can stop what has already begun. The world is beginning to sense the shift, to feel the weight of what is coming. The air is heavy with the unspoken realization that something has changed, something unstoppable, something undeniable. The ones who worked against you, who sought to bury the truth beneath layers of deception, can no longer ignore what is unfolding before them. They are watching, waiting, realizing that their efforts were in vain. They tried to silence you, to keep you hidden, to make you believe that you were just another ordinary soul. But you were never meant to stay buried. The moment they feared the most has arrived. You are awakening. The chains of illusion are breaking. The truth that was long suppressed is rising, and with it, so are you. There will still be resistance. There will still be voices whispering doubt. People who will try to convince you that you are not who you were always meant to be. They will fight to hold on to their illusion of control, clinging desperately to the power they were never meant to have. But their time is running out. The truth is no longer in their hands. The kingdom has been waiting. It has prepared for this moment since the beginning. And now, the time has come. No more delays. No more distractions. No more doubting what has been placed within you. If you have felt this truth resonate within you, if you know deep down that you were meant for something greater, then this journey is only just beginning. There is more to uncover, more to reveal, more to step into. Thank you for being here, for seeking, for listening. If this message has spoken to you, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what comes next. There are revelations ahead that you do not want to miss. The time is now. The kingdom is calling. Will you answer? What I am about to say might feel like a wake-up call, but it is exactly what you need to hear at this moment. You have been on this journey for a reason, and now the universe is calling you to act. No more waiting. No more hesitating. If you are reading this, it is not by accident. God has led you here. Now is the time to step into your power like never before. This is the moment where your desires transform into your reality. The final assignment is here, and it is non-negotiable. It comes with a challenge. Do it now, no matter the cost. The transformation you have been waiting for is on the other side of this action. It will not be easy, but it will be worth it. This is exactly what you need to shift into the next level of your life. Before we go any further, take a deep breath. Now, do two things. Number 1, hit that like button. Number 2, leave a comment with the words, "Jesus, I am ready." This declaration will send a powerful signal to the universe, amplifying your energy and intention. If you are truly a chosen one, you will stay with me until the end. Deep down, your spirit already knows this is the final assignment you have been waiting for. Once you complete it, nothing in your life will ever be the same. So let's dive in. You are not random. You are chosen. You are called to be messengers of the covenant, the very instruments through which God reveals his promises to the world. This is not a title to boast about, but a responsibility to embrace with reverence and urgency. The Bible declares in Malachi 3:1, "See, I will send my messenger, who will prepare the way before me. Then suddenly the Lord you are seeking will come to his temple. The messenger of the covenant, whom you desire, will come, says the Lord Almighty." This verse is not just history, it is prophecy. It is not just for others, it is for you. You are the fulfillment of God's plan to prepare the way for his presence to be revealed. But before you can carry this holy message, you must first understand what it means to be a messenger, the weight of the covenant you carry, and the fire that fuels your calling. To be a messenger means to be entrusted with a divine responsibility. It requires faith, obedience, and unwavering dedication. The role of a messenger is not simply to deliver words, but to live them, to be a living testimony of God's truth. Throughout history, God has chosen individuals who were willing to surrender their will and embrace his divine purpose. These messengers were not always the strongest, the wisest, or the most qualified by human standards. Instead, they were those who had hearts that were willing, spirits that were obedient, and lives that were surrendered to his will. Look at the great messengers in Scripture. Moses, who led God's people out of captivity despite his own doubts and limitations. Isaiah, who boldly proclaimed the word of the Lord even when faced with opposition. John the Baptist, who prepared the way for Christ with unwavering conviction. And the apostles, who carried the message of the gospel to the ends of the earth despite persecution. Each of these messengers understood the weight of their calling, and they carried it with honor and purpose. As a messenger of the covenant, you are not here by coincidence. Every experience you have had, every challenge you have faced, and every triumph you have celebrated has been preparing you for this moment. The fire within you is not accidental. It is the very presence of God urging you to step forward in faith. But carrying this message is not without its cost. It requires courage, endurance, and absolute trust in God's plan. It means standing firm when the world pushes back, proclaiming truth when others remain silent, and remaining steadfast in faith even when doubt tries to creep in. The question is, are you ready? Are you willing to step into your calling without fear or hesitation? The world is waiting for God's messengers to rise. The time is now. Embrace your purpose, carry the message with boldness, and let the fire of the covenant burn brightly within you. Before I continue, I want to pause and thank each and every one of you for your prayers, unwavering support, and incredible generosity. Most especially, I want to acknowledge those of you who have been giving through the link pinned in the comments below and through the Super Thankful feature. Your actions are a clear sign that you not only love God, but also deeply believe in and love the work we are doing here. You are not just supporters, you are partners, co-laborers in the kingdom of God. Your sacrifices and contributions are a testament to your faith and your heart for the mission God has entrusted us with. And I declare this over your life. God will reward you accordingly in ways beyond what you can imagine or think. Every prayer, every word of encouragement, every gift, and every time you share this message with someone in need is making an eternal impact. Together, we are spreading the good news, touching lives, and sowing seeds of hope, faith, and love. May God continue to bless you richly, enlarge your territory, and cause His face to shine upon you. May He meet you at the point of your need, fulfill the desires of your heart, and multiply every seed you have sown 100-fold. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for believing in this vision, for standing with us in this journey, and for being an active part of what God is doing through this platform. Let us continue to labor together for the glory of God, knowing that our work in the Lord is not in vain. You are loved. You are valued. You are appreciated. God bless you abundantly. A messenger is someone sent with a message from one party to another. But in God's kingdom, being a messenger is not just about delivering words. It is about being the message. Your life, actions, decisions, and character must align with the truth you proclaim. In ancient times, messengers were trusted servants. Kings did not send just anyone to carry their decrees. They chose individuals who were loyal, reliable, and capable of accurately representing their authority. The same is true with God. You are not chosen because you are perfect. You are chosen because He trusts you to carry His truth faithfully. Imagine a courier delivering a priceless artifact. Their job is not just to deliver the package, but to protect it, ensuring it arrives intact. As a messenger of the covenant, you are carrying something far more precious than gold, the eternal promises of God. You must guard it with your life, ensuring it is not corrupted or diluted. The message you carry is not your own. It belongs to God. This is a critical truth because the authority of a messenger is rooted in the one who sends them. You are not speaking on your own behalf, but as an ambassador of the King of Kings. 2 Corinthians 5:20 declares, "We are therefore Christ's ambassadors, as though God were making His appeal through us." This means that every word you speak, every action you take, and every step of obedience you walk carries the weight of heaven behind it. Let this truth empower you to speak boldly, live righteously, and fulfill your divine mission with unwavering confidence. But being a messenger of the covenant comes with great responsibility. It requires more than words. It demands a life fully surrendered to God's will. You must be willing to live out the message you proclaim. The world is watching, measuring the authenticity of your message by the way you live. If your actions contradict your words, the message loses its power. But when your life aligns with your calling, you become a beacon of truth that draws others toward God. This responsibility also comes with challenges. Messengers throughout history have faced rejection, persecution, and even isolation. John the Baptist prepared the way for Christ with boldness, yet he was imprisoned and ultimately executed. The apostles preached the gospel at great personal cost, facing threats, imprisonment, and martyrdom. Even Jesus himself, the ultimate messenger, was rejected by many and crucified. Carrying God's message will not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. To walk this path, you must develop resilience, perseverance, and unshakable faith. You must be prepared to speak truth even when it is unpopular, to stand firm even when the world pressures you to compromise, and to trust God even when you do not understand His plan. Your strength will come not from yourself, but from the Holy Spirit who empowers you to carry out your mission. So I ask you today, are you ready to accept the call? Are you willing to step fully into your role as a messenger of the covenant, carrying God's truth to a world that desperately needs it? The assignment is before you. The responsibility is great, but so is the reward. Those who remain faithful will hear these words from their Lord. Well done, my good and faithful servant. The world is waiting. God is calling. Will you rise to the occasion? To be an effective messenger, you must embody certain qualities. Let us examine 3 critical traits through the lives of biblical messengers. Number 1. Boldness, like John the Baptist. John the Baptist was the voice crying in the wilderness, preparing the way for the Lord. He confronted sin without fear and proclaimed the coming of the Messiah with boldness. His courage was unwavering, and he did not compromise the truth, even when it led to his imprisonment and death. Boldness does not mean recklessness. It means standing firm in faith even when faced with resistance. As messengers of God, we are called to speak His truth boldly, without fear of rejection or persecution. We must not shy away from delivering God's word, even when it is difficult or unpopular. Number 2. Perseverance. Like Moses faced immense challenges as he delivered God's message to Pharaoh and led the Israelites out of Egypt. Despite constant opposition, he persevered. Moses' journey was not easy. He endured doubt, complaints from his own people, and Pharaoh's stubbornness. Yet, he remained faithful to God's call. This perseverance teaches us that being a messenger requires resilience. There will be obstacles, moments of discouragement and trials that test our faith. However, just as Moses continued forward with unwavering trust in God, we too must press on, knowing that the Lord is with us every step of the way. When you feel like giving up, remember Moses and how he relied on God's strength rather than his own. Number 3. Sacrificial love. Like Jesus is the ultimate messenger of the covenant. He not only proclaimed the message but became the message through his sacrificial death and resurrection. His love for humanity was so profound that he willingly laid down his life for our salvation. This sacrificial love is what sets apart true messengers of God. To be effective, we must be willing to put others before ourselves, to love unconditionally, and to serve without expecting anything in return. Jesus' life was a perfect example of humility, compassion, and selflessness. As messengers, we are called to reflect His love in our words and actions, demonstrating God's grace and mercy to the world. Being a messenger is not just about speaking, it is about living the message. Every aspect of your life should align with God's truth. People should see Christ in the way you love, serve, and remain steadfast in faith. Your actions must reflect the message you proclaim, for a messenger whose life contradicts their words loses credibility. A true messenger is also one who continually seeks God's presence. Spend time in prayer, study the Word, and allow the Holy Spirit to guide you. Being a messenger is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong calling that requires daily surrender to God's will. The world is watching, and your faithfulness can inspire others to seek the truth. So, I ask you, are you ready to accept this call? Will you stand boldly like John the Baptist, persevere like Moses, and love sacrificially like Jesus? The world needs messengers who are not only willing to proclaim God's word, but to live it wholeheartedly. The time is now. Answer the call. Carry the message with boldness, perseverance, and love, knowing that you are chosen for this divine assignment. This is your moment. The world is desperate for truth, hope, and light. You are God's answer to that need. The fire of the covenant burns within you. The question is, will you let it consume you? This is not the time for hesitation. The world is waiting. God is calling. Will you rise as His messenger, ready to carry His covenant to the nations? Will you answer the call with unwavering faith, knowing that your obedience could change lives and impact generations? Many have been called before you, prophets, disciples, and saints who have walked this path with courage and conviction. They faced trials, opposition, and sacrifice, yet they pressed forward because they knew the weight of their calling. You are now among them, entrusted with a mission that carries eternal significance. Let your heart be steadfast. Let your soul be fearless. Stand firm in the truth and let the fire within you shine brightly for all to see. It will not be an easy journey, but God's strength will sustain you. He has already equipped you with everything you need: faith, wisdom, resilience, and His Holy Spirit to guide you. Your time is now. There is no room for doubt, no space for fear. Every great move of God begins with one willing heart. Will you be that heart today? Will you be the voice that speaks truth in a world clouded with confusion? Will you be the light that shines in the darkness? The choice is yours. The world needs you. Heaven is calling. Let's pray together. Heavenly Father, I come before you with a heart open and willing to serve. Thank you for choosing me, for calling me to be a messenger of your truth, hope, and love. I acknowledge the weight of this calling, and I surrender myself completely to your divine will. Lord, ignite within me a holy fire, one that cannot be quenched. Give me boldness like John the Baptist, perseverance like Moses, and sacrificial love like Jesus. Strengthen me in moments of doubt, and let my faith remain unshaken in the face of trials. Fill me with your wisdom, so that every word I speak and every action I take reflects your glory. Let my life be a living testimony of your grace, a light that leads others to you. May I walk in unwavering obedience, trusting that you have equipped me for this mission. Use me, Lord, to bring truth to the lost, hope to the weary, and light to the darkness. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. If this message has blessed you, please subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us reach more souls and spread the message of truth, hope, and salvation. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Also, share this message with someone who needs to hear it today. Together we can change lives and expand God's kingdom. May God bless you abundantly for your faithfulness. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Let's continue to shine His light in the world. Amen. Love is one of the greatest desires of the human heart. Many people go through life searching for that special someone to complete them, yet some seem destined to remain alone, no matter how hard they try. If you've ever felt like love always escapes you, you might have wondered, is it bad luck? Is there something wrong with me? But what if I told you that this isn't a curse, but a sign that God is protecting you from something you don't yet understand? My dear brothers and sisters, not everyone is meant to walk the same path. Some are kept away from love, romance, and attachment for reasons beyond what the eye can see. In Christianity, when God removes something from your life, it is never without wisdom. As Romans 8:28 reminds us, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. So before you see this as a misfortune, before you allow heartbreak to consume you, let's uncover the 7 reasons why some people are kept away from romance and what it truly means in the grand plan of God. Have you ever found yourself getting close to someone only for things to suddenly fall apart? Maybe you thought they were the one, but somehow the relationship never worked out. At the time, it felt painful, perhaps even unfair. But now, looking back, do you realize that staying with them would have only brought you suffering? In Christianity, when something keeps failing over and over again, it's often a sign of protection, not punishment. God removes people from your life because He knows what you don't. The Bible reminds us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight." Think about our society today. How many people rush into relationships only to be left heartbroken, betrayed, or spiritually lost? Sometimes when you don't get what you want, it's because God is saving you from something that would have destroyed you. The pain of letting go may feel unbearable at the time, but it is often a blessing in disguise. God sees beyond what we can comprehend. He knows the dangers, heartbreak, and struggles that might come from being with the wrong person. Sometimes we become so attached to our own desires that we fail to see the warning signs God places before us. When a relationship fails despite your efforts, it could be His divine intervention, guiding you away from someone who was never meant to be a part of your life. The real question is, do you trust God's plan, or do you keep chasing what He is pulling you away from? Because the sooner you accept that God's wisdom is greater than your desires, the sooner you'll find true peace. When you surrender your desires to God and trust that He knows what is best, He will lead you to something far greater than you ever imagined. In today's world, relationships are often treated as casual and disposable. People enter relationships for fun, not realizing that every bond leaves a mark on the heart. When the heart becomes attached to the wrong person, it can lead to spiritual blindness, where you start justifying what is wrong, forgetting your purpose, and drifting away from God. But the Bible is clear. A relationship outside of marriage is not just wrong, it is dangerous for your soul. The Apostle Paul warns us, "Do not be yoked together with unbelievers. For what do righteousness and wickedness have in common? Or what fellowship can light have with darkness?" Many people don't take this seriously. They assume that as long as they mean well, it's okay. But look at what happens around us. How many people have sacrificed their peace, self-worth, and even their connection with God just to please someone who was never meant for them? If you've struggled to find love, it could be because God is protecting your heart from corruption. The wrong love can lead you to destruction, while the right love, one built on faith and commitment, will bring you closer to Him. If you have ever experienced a relationship that led you away from God, you know the dangers of prioritizing human love over divine guidance. Love is meant to be a source of strength, not a cause for spiritual weakness. A relationship that weakens your faith is never from God. But here's the real test. Will you be patient and trust God, or will you keep chasing something He is keeping you away from? Trusting God means recognizing that His plan is for your ultimate good, even when you don't understand it at the moment. The temporary pain of losing someone who was never meant for you is far better than a lifetime of regret with someone who distances you from God. When you choose to honor Him with your relationships, He will bless you beyond what you can imagine. Have you noticed how some people seem consumed by the idea of relationships? They spend years chasing love, getting hurt, and losing themselves in the process. Meanwhile, others seem to have a higher purpose guiding their lives. Sometimes, when romance is absent from your life, it's because God is redirecting you toward something far more important. Instead of being distracted by emotions, heartbreak, or the pursuit of temporary happiness, He wants you to focus on building yourself, your faith, your future, and your character. Jesus said, "But seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." Look at history. Some of the greatest people, those who changed the world, left behind legacies and strengthened their faith, did not let their lives revolve around relationships. Instead, they used their time to build something meaningful. The question is, are you wasting your time chasing romance, Or are you using this period of solitude to strengthen your relationship with God and work towards something greater? If God is keeping love from your life at this moment, perhaps it's because He has something more significant in store for you. He wants you to grow in wisdom, faith, and purpose before introducing you to the right person at the right time. Instead of questioning His plan, embrace this time as an opportunity to grow closer to Him. God may be positioning you for something greater than just a relationship. He may be calling you to a purpose beyond what you've imagined. Rather than seeing singleness as a burden, recognize it as an opportunity to deepen your relationship with God, to grow in your faith, and to pursue the purpose He has set for you. Let's be real. We are not robots. Every human has emotions, desires, and a natural longing for companionship. Christianity does not ask us to suppress our feelings. It teaches us to control them within the boundaries of faith. This is what separates true believers from those who follow their own desires. The Bible says, "For the grace of God has appeared that offers salvation to all people." It teaches us to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions, and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in this present age. In today's world, most people don't even try to hold themselves accountable. They follow whatever feels good in the moment, regardless of whether it's right or wrong. But if you've been struggling with this, know that this struggle itself is a sign of faith. If God has given you the awareness to fight against temptation, then you are already on a different path than most. Self-control is one of the most valuable traits a believer can develop. It requires discipline, commitment, and faith. Rather than letting emotions dictate your choices, God calls you to rely on His strength. Every time you resist temptation, you grow spiritually and draw closer to Him. The key is to redirect your emotions towards something meaningful. A strong relationship with God will fill the void that many people try to fill with fleeting passions. Learning to master your desires rather than being mastered by them is the foundation of a godly life. Like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. When you trust God to guide your emotions, you open the door to His greater plan for your life. Because in Christianity, self-discipline over desire is what leads to true success. Sometimes when love seems distant, it is not rejection, but preparation. God removes certain things from your life not to deprive you, but to prepare you for something even greater. He is strengthening your heart, refining your faith, and ensuring that you are ready for the love that is meant for you. The Bible reassures us, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." If God is keeping you away from relationships, perhaps He is shaping you for a purpose beyond what you can see. Think about the trials you have faced, the heartaches, the disappointments, the loneliness. Every season of waiting is an opportunity to grow, to deepen your faith, and to prepare for the blessings that lie ahead. Just as gold is refined in fire, your heart and spirit are being refined through this period of solitude. This is not wasted time. God may be developing qualities in you that will make you a better spouse in the future. Patience, kindness, resilience, and unwavering faith. Instead of viewing this as a burden, consider it a gift. God's timing is always perfect. He knows when you are ready, and He knows who is right for you. Rushing into a relationship before you are spiritually and emotionally prepared can lead to heartbreak and regret. But when you wait on God, you can be sure that what He brings into your life will be exactly what you need. So, instead of focusing on what you lack, focus on what you are gaining. Use this time to draw closer to God, to pursue your purpose, and to grow into the person He has called you to be. Because when you trust in His plan, He will never fail you. True fulfillment does not come from people but from God alone. Before He allows you to love someone else, He wants you to experience His love first. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Until you find peace in God, no human relationship will ever truly satisfy you. Many people seek love as a way to fill an emptiness in their hearts, believing that another person can complete them. However, Only God can truly fulfill the deepest longings of your soul. When you look to people for fulfillment, you will always be disappointed because no human can provide the perfect unconditional love that only God offers. God wants you to rely on Him first. If you are currently in a season of waiting, He may be calling you to strengthen your faith, to build a life centered around Him, and to understand that your worth does not depend on another person's affection. Many people rush into relationships thinking they will bring happiness, only to find themselves feeling just as empty, if not more so, because they have placed their hope in something temporary instead of in God's eternal love. This time of solitude is a blessing. It is an opportunity to cultivate a deep, personal relationship with God. It is a chance to discover your identity in Him and to understand that His love is more than enough. Once you are content in God's love, any relationship He brings into your life will only be an addition to the joy you already have in Him, not the source of your happiness. God is refining you, molding you into the person He wants you to be, and preparing you for the right kind of love, the kind that reflects His love for you. Instead of asking why love hasn't come yet, ask yourself, am I fully embracing God's love for me? Because when you do, everything else will fall into place according to His perfect timing. Waiting is never easy, but patience is a virtue that brings divine rewards. In a world that encourages instant gratification, it can be challenging to trust in God's timing. However, His plans are always greater than ours, and He knows exactly when and how to bless us with what we need. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. If love has not yet come into your life, trust that God's timing is always perfect. Perhaps He is shielding you from heartbreak or ensuring that you meet the right person at the right time. Instead of feeling frustrated by the wait, see it as an opportunity for growth and preparation. God often uses waiting periods to strengthen our faith and character. Through patience, He teaches us resilience, trust, and unwavering faith in His plans. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a strong tree, your future relationship needs a firm foundation before it can flourish. Rushing into love before its time can lead to unnecessary pain and struggle. The Bible reassures us that those who wait on the Lord will never be disappointed. If you feel discouraged, remind yourself that waiting is not wasted time. It is a season of refinement, learning, and trust building. Use this time to focus on personal growth, spiritual development, and becoming the best version of yourself, so that when the right person comes, you will be ready. Remember, God is never late. His blessings come exactly when they are meant to. Keep trusting, keep believing, and keep growing. Because when the time is right, He will open doors that no one can close, and the love He has prepared for you will be beyond anything you could have imagined. If love and relationships have always seemed distant in your life, know that it is not a punishment. It is part of God's plan. Whether it's to protect you, prepare you, or strengthen your faith, God never withholds something without reason. The real question is, do you trust His timing, or are you still chasing something He is pulling you away from? The more you surrender your desires to Him, the more peace you will find in His perfect plan. Love is not something to be rushed or forced. It is a divine gift that arrives in its appointed season. As you navigate your journey of faith, remember that your worth is not defined by your relationship status. You are complete in Christ, and His love is all you need. When the right time comes, God will provide the love He has ordained for you, and it will be worth the wait. Thank you for watching this video. If this message resonated with you, we encourage you to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue spreading the wisdom and love of God to those who need it most. Stay faithful, stay patient, and trust in His perfect timing. May God bless you abundantly. Listen carefully, for the words I'm about to share are not born of chance or coincidence. Your name has been chosen in heaven for a cause far beyond your understanding, a divine purpose woven into the eternal plan of the Almighty. What you are hearing now is not just for your ears but for your heart. It is a message of hope, a revelation of your calling, and a promise of the blessings prepared for you. Do not let doubt turn you away from this moment. Stay steadfast, for this truth has the power to transform your life. 12 angels came before me, each carrying your name, each pleading on your behalf with a love so deep and reverent. They see what you cannot yet see in yourself, a light, a spark, a divine potential that was placed within you before the foundation of the earth was laid. You are more than you believe yourself to be. You are chosen, beloved, a vessel to carry my love, my hope, and my glory to a world in need. If this message has touched your heart, don't let it stop here. Join this journey of hope and revelation by subscribe to this channel. Let these words inspire you daily, guiding you as you walk in faith and purpose. Together, let us illuminate the world with His love. I see you. I see the thoughts that swirl endlessly in your mind, weighed down by questions, fears, and uncertainties. You carry so much within you, dreams tangled with doubts, hopes shrouded by whispers of insecurity. There are nights when the silence is deafening and doubt creeps in like a shadow, whispering lies that gnaw at your spirit. Why me? You wonder. Why have I been chosen? What have I done to deserve this calling, this attention, this weight of purpose that feels both extraordinary and overwhelming? You search tirelessly for answers that seem just out of reach, hoping for clarity amidst the chaos of your heart. But hear me now, beloved. You are chosen, not because of what you have done, but because of who you are and who I have created you to be. Before you took your first breath, I knew you. I shaped you with care, planting seeds of purpose within you. Your strengths, your struggles, your story, they all matter. They are all a part of the masterpiece I am weaving. You are not defined by your achievements or failures, but by the love I have for you and the purpose I have placed upon your life. I see the burdens you carry, the silent battles no one else notices. The weight presses heavily upon you, doesn't it? Responsibilities stack higher and higher, and some days, it feels like you're carrying the world on your shoulders. I see the tears you cry when no one is watching, the prayers whispered in desperation, the moments when you feel like you're barely holding on. You've given so much, endured so much, and yet the heaviness lingers. But let this truth sink deep into your heart. You were never meant to carry these burdens alone. I am here. I have always been here. I am the one who strengthens you when you are weak, who walks beside you through the valleys, and who carries you when your strength is gone. Every trial you've faced, every tear you've shed, every moment of doubt, it has not been for nothing. Each hardship has been preparing you, refining you, and shaping you for the greater purpose I have planned. Even in the moments when you couldn't see it, I was working for your good, molding you into the person I designed you to be. So, my beloved, rest in this truth. You are not alone. You are chosen. You are loved beyond measure. I am with you now, just as I have always been, and I will carry you through every storm, every uncertainty, and every obstacle that lies ahead. Trust me, for the journey I have set before you is one of hope, promise, and purpose. Step forward, not in fear, but in the confidence that you are held by the one who calls you his own. Your name rose to heaven, not by random chance, but with purpose. Because of the qualities I see in you, qualities that mirror my heart. You may not fully see them yourself, but I do. I see the kindness in your soul, the way you extend love even when it costs you something dear. I see how you choose forgiveness when bitterness feels easier, and how you give generously even when you have little to spare. I see your humility, a rare jewel in a world that often exalts pride and selfishness. You stay grounded, rooted in what is good and true, choosing to honor me even when the world turns away. Your willingness to love when your own heart aches, to comfort others even in your own pain, and to do what is right when no one is watching. These are not mere acts. They are treasures, precious offerings that ripple outward, touching lives in ways you cannot yet imagine. What you may see as small sacrifices, an encouraging word, a quiet prayer, a moment of compassion, have reached farther than you know. They have brought hope to the weary, light to the broken, and joy to those who felt forgotten. Heaven itself has taken notice. The angels spoke your name with reverence, for they see what I see. They see the purity of your heart, the quiet strength of your spirit, and the light you carry within you. A light that pierces through the darkness and warms even the coldest hearts. That light is not of your own making. It is my light, reflected through your life. Every act of love, every moment of obedience, and every step of faith shines brightly, pointing others to me. Your humility is what sets you apart. You do not seek applause, recognition, or the fleeting praise of others. You do what is good and right because it brings joy to my heart, not because it brings you glory. In a world consumed by self-promotion, your humility is a beacon of hope and a testimony to my work within you. This is why your name was lifted before me, why you have been chosen for this calling. But know this: you are not chosen because you are perfect. I do not seek perfection, for I know that none can achieve it apart from me. You are chosen because you are willing to trust, to follow and to obey, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. I do not ask for perfection. I ask for your heart, and through your willingness I will pour out blessings that will not only change your life, but will also touch the lives of countless others. My beloved, trust in this truth. Your life has meaning, your actions have purpose, and your name is precious to me. Through you, I will mend broken hearts, bring light to dark places, and restore hope where it has been lost. Walk forward in faith, knowing that my strength will sustain you, and my love will surround you. You were chosen not by accident, but with great care and intention. Let this truth guide you, for I am with you always. The cause for which you have been chosen is neither small nor insignificant. It is part of a divine plan, one that stretches far beyond what your eyes can see or your mind can comprehend. This plan intricately weaves together every moment of your life, your triumphs, your heartbreaks, your victories, and your struggles, into a tapestry of purpose so magnificent that it could only be the work of divine hands. Nothing you have experienced has been random or wasted. Each thread, carefully placed, contributes to something greater than you could ever imagine. Through you, my love will flow into the lives of those who feel unseen and forgotten. My hope will rise like a beacon in the hearts of the brokenhearted, and my glory will pierce the darkest places, bringing light and restoration. You are not just a participant in this plan. You are a vessel, uniquely crafted to carry out a sacred purpose. I have chosen you to be a conduit of my love, my hope, and my power. Do not let thoughts of inadequacy cloud your vision. The fears that whisper, "You are not enough," or "You cannot do this," are lies designed to paralyze you and keep you from stepping into your calling. Hear this truth. What you perceive as weaknesses, I see as the very places where my strength will shine brightest. It is in your moments of doubt and struggle that my power is perfected. My beloved, understand this. When I choose someone, I do not call them because they are already qualified. I qualify those I have chosen. Your flaws, your fears, and even your failures do not disqualify you from this purpose. On the contrary, they are vital pieces of your testimony, a living testament to what I can accomplish through a willing and surrendered heart. The trials you have faced, the lessons you have learned, and the growth you have experienced are all preparing you to fulfill this calling. Trust that I do not make mistakes. If I have called you, it is because I know you are capable, not in your own strength, but through mine. So walk boldly, my child. Do not shrink back in fear, for you do not walk this path alone. My strength will uphold you, my wisdom will guide you, and my love will sustain you. Through you, lives will be touched, wounds will be healed, and hope will be restored. My name will be glorified in ways beyond what you can envision. You have been chosen, not by accident, but by divine design. Trust in me, for I will equip you for every step of the journey. When you feel overwhelmed, lean into me. When doubts arise, Remember that I am the source of your strength. You are my beloved, chosen for such a time as this. Step forward with courage, for the work I have begun in you, I will bring to completion. Beloved, your journey will not be without challenges. There will be moments when the weight of the calling feels too heavy to bear, when doubt whispers louder than faith, and when you question whether you are capable of fulfilling the purpose I have placed before you. In those moments, do not let fear or uncertainty overwhelm you. Instead, remember this unshakable truth. You are not alone. I am with you, guiding your steps, equipping you for every challenge, and providing for every need. Each act of faith, no matter how small, will uncover more of the plan I have designed specifically for you. With each step, doors will open that no one can shut. Paths will appear where none seem possible. Opportunities will arise that exceed your imagination. Relationships that were broken will be restored, and healing will flow into your life like a mighty river. The blessings I have prepared for you, blessings that the enemy sought to take away, are safely held in my hands and will be revealed at the perfect time. Through you, lives will be transformed. Your light, the one I have placed within you, will shine brightly, bringing hope to the hopeless, healing to the broken, and salvation to those in need. You will be my hands and feet, my voice and heart, carrying my love into a world desperate for it. This calling is not a burden, my beloved. It is a privilege. To be chosen and used by me is the greatest honor, for it means you are part of something eternal. You are part of my divine plan to bring light into darkness and life into despair. Walk forward in faith, for I am with you, and together, we will do great things. I know you wonder, what happens next? How will I know what to do? These questions swirl in your mind, and the uncertainty can feel overwhelming. But my beloved, you do not need to have all the answers right now. Trust me. Trust that I am leading you, step by step, even when the path ahead seems unclear. Each step of faith you take, no matter how small, will bring you closer to the fulfillment of the plan I have designed for you. When the way is clouded and the answers seem far away, rest in the knowledge that I am working behind the scenes. I am orchestrating every detail, aligning every moment, and weaving everything together for your good and for my glory. You may not see it now, but my hand is in every part of your journey. The enemy will try to fill your mind with lies. He will whisper that you are not enough, that you are too broken, too flawed, too insignificant. Do not believe those lies. They are meant to keep you from stepping into the greatness I have placed within you. Remember this: you are chosen not because of what you can do, but because of what I can do through you. My strength is sufficient for every weakness you feel. My grace is enough to cover every shortcoming. You are not called to rely on your own ability, but on mine. Lean into my strength, for it is in your moments of weakness that my power shines the brightest. Take the next step in faith, beloved, knowing that I am with you. Trust in my timing, trust in my plan, and trust that you are never walking this path alone. In this season, I am teaching you how to pray, not just with words, but with a heart aligned to my will. Prayer is not about presenting a list of requests, but about communion with me, about aligning your heart with mine. Let your prayers be filled with surrender, trust, and gratitude. Here is how you will pray. Father, I come before you with a heart that is open and humble. I surrender my plans, my fears, and my doubts to you. Teach me to trust your timing, to walk in obedience even when the path is unclear. Help me to see the beauty in the unknown, knowing that you are leading me. Lord, I do not ask for clarity, but for faithfulness. I do not seek success, but the strength to carry out your will. Refine me, mold me, and use me as a vessel of your love and grace. Let my life be a reflection of your goodness, a testament to your glory. Teach me to love as you love, to serve as you serve, and to trust as you trust. When I am weak, remind me that your strength is made perfect in my weakness. When I feel lost, guide me with your light. When I am overwhelmed, be my refuge and fortress. I thank you, Lord, for choosing me, for equipping me, and for walking beside me. May my life bring you honor, and may every step I take lead me closer to you. In Jesus' name, amen. Beloved, a new season is upon you, a season of unveiling, where the purpose of your calling will become clear. The gifts I have placed within you, some long hidden and others yet to be discovered, will come to light as you walk in obedience. As you step forward in faith, you will see lives touched, hearts healed, and spirits renewed through the love and light you carry. Do not underestimate the power of what you have already been doing. The work of my kingdom is not about grand gestures but about love. It is built in the quiet moments of compassion, in the unseen acts of kindness, in the words of truth spoken with tenderness. These small yet profound acts are the foundation of my plan, and you have been part of this work, even when you didn't realize it. Every choice to love, to forgive, and to serve has echoed into eternity. Do not fear the magnitude of your calling. It may feel overwhelming, but remember, you are never alone. I am with you, guiding your steps, empowering your actions, and surrounding you with my love. Trust in my plan, for it is designed to prosper you, to fill you with hope, and to lead you into a future rich with purpose. Beloved, you are mine, and I am yours forever. Your journey is only just beginning, and the best is yet to come. Walk boldly in faith, trust fully in my guidance, and let your heart rest in the certainty that you are deeply loved. The angels rejoice over you, for you are chosen, cherished, and called. Let this truth strengthen you as you step into the fullness of the season ahead. If this message has spoken to your heart, we invite you to subscribe to this channel. Join us as we continue to explore God's love and purpose together. Thank you for being here. We're honored to walk alongside you on this journey. There is something profoundly unsettling about the silence that follows a storm. Not the kind that brings relief, but the kind that whispers an even greater catastrophe is approaching. Too often people mistake the eye of the hurricane for the end rather than the warning. Throughout history, civilizations, nations, and even individuals have thrived under the presence of the divinely assigned, often without realizing it. They mistake grace for coincidence, protection for luck, and divine warnings for background noise. And then one day, the chosen are gone. The voices that spoke the truth, even when no one wanted to hear it, the ones who carried a presence that defied explanation, the ones who disrupted what needed disturbing, vanish. Just like that. And what follows is not a mere void, but a reckoning, a shift, a collapse that no one saw coming. If you think this is just a metaphor, think again. History proves it. The sudden absence of key individuals often precedes major events, collapse, war, chaos, and judgment. When Lot left Sodom, fire followed. When Jesus left the temple, destruction came. Even in modern times, societies only recognize the importance of certain figures when the damage becomes irreversible. If you once laughed at the chosen, ignored their words, dismissed their presence as nothing more than a passing shadow, this may be the moment you start paying attention. Because when God decides their mission is complete and it's time for them to leave, their exit is not just a disappearance. It is an event, and what follows, no one wants to see. God's chosen ones don't move through life unnoticed. Their presence alone forces people to make a choice, align with truth or resist it. They disrupt systems, shatter false narratives, and challenge spiritual complacency. They make people uncomfortable, often without even trying. This is why the chosen often experience rejection, betrayal, and resistance. Not because they are wrong, but because they are doing exactly what they were sent to do. They weren't placed here to make peace with dysfunction. They were sent to expose it. Their mission was never about being liked. It was about reminding the world that darkness has an expiration date. But here's the truth. Their time is limited. They were never meant to stay in one place forever. And when God removes them, it is not an afterthought. It is a calculated move. Some will realize their absence too late. Others will finally understand that what they resisted was the only thing keeping judgment at bay. The chosen weren't here for comfort. They were here to collide with what was never meant to stand. And when their purpose is fulfilled, their removal isn't a retreat. It is a statement. Leaving does not mean losing. It does not mean failure or surrender. When God pulls his chosen ones out, it is not because they were too weak to stay. It is because their work was already done. They were never called to fix everything, only to shift the atmosphere. And once that's done, their removal is not just necessary, it is strategic. Some might see their departure as abandonment. Others might assume they were never as powerful as they seemed. But that's the mistake people always make. They assume that the chosen are meant to hold up the weight of everything indefinitely, that their prayers, their presence, their very existence keeps things from falling apart. But in reality, they were only ever meant to be a warning, a catalyst, a temporary shield. Once they are gone, the consequences of what was ignored, dismissed, or fought against will come full force. People rarely understand the significance of someone's presence until that presence is removed. And when the chosen are gone, things don't just stay the same, they unravel. Not because the chosen wanted destruction, but because their departure is proof that grace has shifted. God does not place his chosen randomly. They are assigned to specific places, people, and moments for a defined purpose. They are the answer to a crisis, one that most do not even recognize until it's too late. But they were never meant to stay. Their role was temporary. Their mission had a deadline, and their presence was a divine response to a problem that wouldn't be addressed any other way. Once that problem is handled, whether by exposing it, shifting it, or giving people a final chance to change, there is no reason for them to remain. The mistake people make? Assuming that the chosen will always be there. They take for granted the wisdom, the covering, the warnings. Some even resent or resist them, assuming that no matter what, they will always be around, until one day they're not. That's when reality sets in. The peace they dismissed, gone. The supernatural favor they never acknowledged, lifted. The silent protection they didn't even realize was shielding them, removed. That's when they realize the chosen weren't just another voice, another presence, another person. They were the reason things hadn't fallen apart sooner. And now, they are gone. People love the idea of being chosen by God until they realize what it actually means. It does not mean applause, admiration, or acceptance. It means walking into places where you are not wanted and saying things people do not want to hear. It means being labeled as difficult, extreme, or even dangerous. Not because you are wrong, but because you refuse to be silent. History proves it. Prophets weren't celebrated. They were stoned, exiled, and murdered. Jesus himself, the greatest of all, wasn't embraced. He was betrayed, falsely accused, and crucified by the very people he came to save. So why would it be different for those he sends? The chosen are not assigned to comfort people in their illusions. They are sent to tear them down, to expose lies, to shake up systems, to remind the world that God is watching. But here's the problem. People love darkness more than light. They don't want to be awakened. They want to be left alone. So when a chosen one steps in, carrying truth like a sword, resistance is inevitable. The rejection isn't personal, it's prophetic. There is a painful reality that every chosen one must accept. Not everyone will change, no matter how much truth they receive. You can preach, warn, pray, and pour everything you have into people, but some will never wake up, not because they don't understand, but because they don't want to. It's easy to believe that if you just say the right words or show people enough love, they will open their eyes. But the truth is, some hearts are set in stone. Some people aren't asleep. They are actively resisting the truth because it threatens their comfort, their power, or their illusions. No matter how hard you try, you cannot force transformation that only God can bring. Your mission was never about fixing the world. It was about giving the world a chance. Every word you spoke, every warning you gave, every moment you spent trying to wake people up, That wasn't for your own satisfaction. It was so that when the time comes, when everything they ignored finally collapses, they won't be able to say, "I didn't know." It's not your job to make people listen. It's your job to deliver the message. Whether they accept it or reject it is between them and God. Some will change, some won't. But either way, you did what you were sent to do. Everything you went through, the betrayals, the rejection, the isolation, the suffering, was never just about you. It wasn't punishment, bad luck, or random hardship. It was a message. You were a living prophecy, a warning in human form. God's chosen ones don't just speak truth, they become it. They carry the weight of the message in their own lives, their own wounds, their own struggles. Before they ever open their mouths, their existence preaches a sermon. People may ignore your words, but they cannot ignore the evidence written on your life. That's why the attacks came. That's why people turned on you. Why you were misunderstood. Why doors closed that should have opened. Not because you were wrong, but because your life exposed what others wanted to keep hidden. You didn't just talk about endurance, you endured. You didn't just warn about betrayal, you lived through it. You didn't just speak of rejection, you felt it firsthand. Your suffering was the proof. Some will wake up because of your pain. Others will ignore it until they experience it themselves. But either way, your suffering wasn't wasted. Your scars are not just wounds. They are evidence that you carried the message. You weren't sent just to warn people. You were sent to become the warning. People don't always recognize what they have until it's gone. They hear, but they don't listen. They see, but they don't understand. And then one day you're no longer there. No more warnings, no more prayers, no more presence holding things together. That's when reality hits. Your absence is not just a disappearance, it's a divine announcement. The people who dismissed you will start to notice the difference. The peace they took for granted, gone. The protection they didn't even realize was covering them, lifted. The wisdom they rolled their eyes at suddenly makes sense. This is how God works. He removes his chosen ones not just to protect them, but to wake up those who refuse to listen while they had the chance. Some will reflect and realize they made a mistake. Others will scramble to find someone else to fill the void. But it won't be the same, because what you carried wasn't just knowledge or kindness, it was a divine assignment. And assignments can't be replaced by convenience. The silence you leave behind will be louder than any words you ever spoke, because now, people aren't just hearing what you said, they are feeling the absence of what you carried. And that is the real warning. When God removes his chosen, it is not just for their benefit, it is a shift in the spiritual landscape, a divine recalibration, a warning sign that what follows will not be pleasant. Your presence was not just about your mission. It was a covering, an opportunity, and a grace period for those around you. When you leave, it is not just your life that changes. It is the atmosphere, the destiny of those who failed to heed the call, the structures that refuse to correct themselves. God does not remove his chosen without reason. It is always a sign that something significant is about to unfold, whether people are ready for it or not. The world does not understand the cost of ignoring the chosen until the consequences come full circle, and by then, it is too late. There will always be those who refuse to see, those who think they can silence the messengers and avoid the message. But history shows otherwise. When God removes his chosen, what follows is judgment. Not because the chosen wished for destruction, but because their presence was holding back the storm. Some people were only protected because of the prayers of the chosen. Some businesses thrived because of the favor they carried. Some communities stood strong because of the spiritual foundation they established. When they are gone, the covering is gone. And what remains is the consequence of rejection. This is the moment when everything shifts. When grace is no longer an option. When people who thought they had more time realize they don't. The reckoning is here, and the world will feel the difference. Your time here was never meant to be indefinite. You were sent, you fulfilled your mission, and now the departure is not a loss. It is a fulfillment of divine timing. For those who recognized you, they will be strengthened. For those who dismissed you, they will learn through absence what they failed to grasp in presence. You were a voice, a shield, a warning, and now it is time to go. Walk forward with confidence, knowing you have done your part, and for those left behind, the truth will be undeniable. The chosen were here, and the world will never be the same again. If you are reading this right now, know that it is not by accident. You have been divinely led to this moment, drawn by a force greater than yourself. The message you are about to receive is one of power, transformation, and supernatural abundance. From this moment forward, your struggles are over. Your days of financial hardship are behind you. Why? Because God Himself has taken charge of your wealth, prosperity, and success. The blessings you have prayed for are on their way. The abundance you have envisioned is about to manifest before your very eyes. Those who once doubted you, who mocked your lack, will soon witness the undeniable proof of God's favor upon your life. This is your season. Nothing and no one can stop the flood of blessings that are moving toward you right now. Before we go deeper into this divine revelation, I need you to take 3 simple steps. First, hit that like button to affirm your faith in this message. Second, subscribe to ensure you never miss another life-changing word. Third, leave a comment with the number 99, a number charged with divine energy that will activate powerful abundance in your life. If you are truly one of the chosen, you will stay until the very end, because deep in your spirit, you already know this truth was meant for you. Get ready, because your life is about to change in ways beyond your wildest imagination. Every journey has a turning point, the moment when struggles cease and blessings begin to flow freely. That moment for you is now. For those chosen by God, financial burdens are no longer yours to carry. The responsibility for your wealth and prosperity now rests in the hands of the Creator of the universe. He has orchestrated every moment of your life, leading you to this divine revelation. Your abundance is not a mere wish or hope. It is a guarantee from the Almighty. Your wealth will no longer be determined by your sweat, your hustle, or your effort, but by God's unshakable promise to provide. Imagine a river that never runs dry, constantly replenishing itself no matter how much is drawn from it. That is the nature of God's provision for you. You are destined to live a life of supernatural provision, not because of your strength or intellect, but because God has vowed to pour out His riches upon you. This divine responsibility is a testament to His unwavering commitment to His chosen ones. From this day forward, stop struggling. Start trusting. Your needs are already met. You are no longer bound by the uncertainties of life. Instead, you are walking in the certainty of divine provision. Your wealth is a reflection of God's love, and as you embrace this truth, you will experience a peace that surpasses all understanding. When you accepted your divine calling, something shifted in the spiritual realm. You transitioned from a life of striving to a life of effortless abundance. The days of working yourself into exhaustion, of fearing the unknown, of worrying about lack, they are over. From now on, your life will be carried effortlessly by God's grace and favor. No longer will your success be dependent on your ability to grind, toil, and push yourself to the brink. Instead, you will see doors open, opportunities arise, and resources flow into your hands supernaturally. When you step into divine abundance, it's not just about financial wealth, it's about overflow. Everything in your life will be touched by this divine shift. Your relationships, your health, your purpose. True wealth is not merely having money. It is living the fullness of life that God has designed for you. It is walking with confidence, knowing that you are guided by divine favor and that your path is already illuminated by His light. You will notice how effortlessly things begin to align. The relationships that once drained you will fall away, replaced by connections that uplift and inspire you. Opportunities will arise in places you never expected, as doors swing open with ease. Your health will flourish as stress and worry dissipate, replaced by a newfound sense of peace and well-being. Even your purpose will become clearer, as God reveals to you the exact steps you need to take. This is the power of stepping into divine abundance. It is not just about material gain, but about living a life so rich in blessings, peace, and purpose that it transforms not only your world, but the lives of those around you. You were chosen for greatness, not by accident, but by divine design. Embrace this shift. Let go of the old patterns of struggle and step boldly into the effortless abundance that has been prepared for you. Your time is now. Your blessings are already here. All you need to do is receive. Confidence does not come from self-reliance. It comes from knowing that you are supported by a power greater than yourself. When you embrace divine provision, you walk through life with unshakable assurance that everything you need is already supplied. You no longer need to live in fear of the unknown because your future has already been secured by the Almighty. Think of a child who never worries about their next meal or where they will sleep. They trust completely in their parents' ability to provide. This is the kind of confidence God is inviting you to embrace. You no longer need to stress about how things will come together. You simply trust that they already have. Your provision has been arranged, your needs have been met, and your abundance is already unfolding before you. This confidence liberates you from fear, doubt, and anxiety. It allows you to move boldly toward your destiny, free from hesitation and uncertainty. Instead of wasting energy trying to control every outcome, you can now focus on aligning with His will and watching miracles unfold before your very eyes. The path has already been prepared. All you need to do is walk in faith and trust that God's perfect plan is at work in your life. Living in confidence means no longer second-guessing whether you are enough or whether you will have enough. It is about knowing, beyond all doubt, that you are walking in divine favor. The stress and worry that once plagued you are being replaced with a peace that surpasses all understanding. As you step into this confidence, you will see how effortlessly your needs are met, how smoothly doors open, and how quickly your life transforms. Trust in God's timing, trust in His provision, and walk forward with the certainty that your abundance is already here. It is time to embrace the life of divine wealth, peace, and overflow that has been prepared for you. You are not meant to struggle endlessly to make ends meet. That is not your portion. Wealth is God's responsibility. Your only task is to remain aligned with His divine plan and trust in His perfect timing. When you release the burden of trying to control your financial future, you make room for miracles to take place. This is not about passivity. It is about active faith. As you take each step forward, God will open doors that you never even knew existed. Every opportunity you need, every resource required for your success, is already set aside for you. Think about it. If God is powerful enough to create the stars, the oceans, and the vast universe, how much more is He able to provide for you? There is no financial challenge too great, no obstacle too overwhelming for Him to overcome on your behalf. From this day forward, remove all doubts about your future. God's promises are yes and amen. What seems impossible in the natural realm is already accomplished in the spiritual. There is no room for fear, hesitation, or lack. You are stepping into a season of extraordinary abundance, where God's provision will overflow in every aspect of your life. Trust in His plan, hold firm to His promises, and watch as the supernatural blessings of divine wealth begin to manifest. This is your destiny. This is your time. The abundance you have been waiting for is already here. Your financial success is not just for you, it is meant to be a tool to fulfill your divine calling. The wealth God is releasing into your life will not only bless you, but position you to bless others. Whether it is through supporting ministries, helping the less fortunate, or funding a vision that changes the world, Your prosperity has a higher purpose. Wealth is not about luxury alone. It is about impact. True fulfillment comes not from what you own, but from what you give. The more you bless others, the more blessings will flow into your life. This is the principle of abundance. What you sow, you shall reap. Your wealth is meant to create a legacy, to break generational curses, and to empower those who need a helping hand. As you step into your financial blessings, remember that God blesses those who use their resources to serve His greater purpose. The more you align with His will, the greater the overflow in your life. Think of your prosperity as a river, continuously flowing and nourishing all who come in contact with it. This is the kind of abundance God has for you, one that is not only sustainable, but ever expanding. It is a divine cycle. The more you pour into others, the more God pours into you. Let this truth sink into your spirit. You are a vessel for divine prosperity. Your wealth is not just for personal gain, but for building God's kingdom, transforming lives, and fulfilling the highest calling placed upon you. The abundance you are receiving is a divine appointment, a responsibility, and a testament to God's faithfulness in your life. Step forward with confidence, knowing that your financial success is not only secure, but divinely orchestrated. You are chosen to be a beacon of generosity, abundance, and faith. Walk boldly in this purpose, and watch as your blessings multiply beyond measure. When you embrace divine abundance, the floodgates open. Your past struggles will fade away, and the world will witness the transformation God is bringing into your life. The moment you banish doubt from your mind, you invite miracles. The more you align your thoughts with God's promises, the more you will see them manifest in your reality. Your dreams are not too big for God. Your goals are already within reach. Step into this new season fully. Embrace the abundance that is flowing your way. Know that your prosperity is not temporary. It is eternal, generational, and unstoppable. You are chosen for greatness. Your time is now. Nothing can hold you back. The wealth, success, and blessings you have been waiting for are already in motion. Get ready. Your life is about to change forever. If this message has touched your spirit, leave a comment with 99 and declare your faith in this divine promise. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this message with others so they too can step into their season of supernatural abundance. Thank you for being part of this journey. Your breakthrough is here. If you are watching this video, understand that it is by divine design. You did not stumble upon this message by accident. God led you here because something powerful is about to unfold in your life. The delay is over. The barriers are breaking, and the promises that seemed distant are now within your reach. For too long, you have watched others rise while you remained in the shadows. You have endured the pain of waiting, the burden of expectations unfulfilled, and the weight of dreams deferred. You have prayed, you have sacrificed, you have fought battles in silence. But hear this clearly, your season of waiting is over. Every closed door, every missed opportunity, every setback was not a rejection but a preparation. God was refining you, strengthening you, and positioning you for something greater than you ever imagined. And now, the time has come. This is more than just a financial breakthrough. This is about divine timing, supernatural acceleration, and stepping into the fullness of your destiny. The destiny written for you before you even took your first breath. The enemy tried to hold you back. Circumstances tried to break you. But you endured. You remained faithful even when everything around you told you to quit. And because of that faithfulness, God is about to reward you in ways that will leave those around you speechless. But before we go any further, take a moment to activate this shift in your life. Like this message, comment 11 as a declaration of alignment with divine timing, and subscribe to ensure you never miss what God is about to do in your life. The universe, the divine, and every force working on your behalf are now moving at full speed. If you ever believed the struggle would last forever, If you ever questioned whether your prayers were heard, listen carefully. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. God has not forgotten you. He has seen the silent tears you cried when no one was watching. He has heard the prayers you whispered in the dark, the ones you weren't even sure reached heaven. He has felt the weight of your struggles, the exhaustion in your spirit, and the moments when you gave, even when you had nothing left. He witnessed the nights you pressed forward despite your weariness, the days when everything inside of you screamed to quit, yet you chose to hold on. Every battle you fought in silence, every moment of pain, and every season of waiting were not in vain. They were not meant to break you, but to prepare you. Your faith has been tested, your endurance refined, and your spirit strengthened. What once seemed like endless delays were actually moments of divine alignment, positioning you for a victory that will be undeniable. And now, the time has come for you to reap what you have sown. The disappointments, the setbacks, the hardships, they are no longer your story. You are stepping into a new reality. The old version of you, the one who doubted, the one who struggled, the one who felt unworthy, no longer exists. That person is gone. You are rising. You are stepping into a life where abundance is your portion, where lack is no longer your story, and where God's divine favor follows you in everything you do. This is your season. This is your moment. And nothing, no force in this world, can stop what God has set in motion. Walk forward in faith, with confidence and boldness, knowing that everything is aligning for your highest good. The very things you once prayed for are now manifesting. What once felt impossible is now within reach. Get ready, because this is just the beginning of something greater than you ever imagined. You have endured the hardships, the doubts, and the setbacks, but hear this: every challenge was a refining fire, molding you into the person you were always meant to be. Nothing you have gone through was wasted. Every tear, every moment of uncertainty, every painful waiting season, it all had a purpose. Your pain was not in vain. It was preparation. Your waiting was not wasted. It was alignment. And now, God is about to pour blessings into your life in ways you never expected. Doors that once seemed permanently closed will suddenly swing open. Opportunities will appear in places where you once saw only obstacles. The very people who doubted you, who ridiculed your faith, and who dismissed your potential will watch in amazement as you rise beyond their expectations. But this elevation is not about revenge. It is not about proving anyone wrong or seeking validation. This is about God's glory shining through you in a way that no one can ignore. When God blesses His chosen ones, He does it in a way that leaves no room for doubt, so that the world knows it was His hand that made it happen. And understand this: abundance is not just about wealth. It is about peace that cannot be shaken. It is about walking in your true purpose. It is about stepping boldly into the divine calling placed on your life before you even took your first breath. When you stop seeking approval from the world and start walking in full alignment with God's plan, that is when the floodgates of prosperity open. What you once chased will now chase you. What you once longed for will now be drawn to you effortlessly, because you are moving in divine alignment. So prepare yourself. The struggles that once defined your life are now part of your testimony. What once seemed impossible is now inevitable. Everything that has been working against you is now shifting in your favor. Everything that felt scattered is now aligning. Everything that appeared broken is now coming together in divine order. God is about to move in your life in a way that will leave you speechless. The season of waiting is over. The season of breakthroughs has begun. Get ready. You may have been overlooked, underestimated, and even betrayed, but understand this: every bit of it was necessary for this moment. The people who dismissed you, the ones who doubted your potential and ridiculed your faith, will soon witness firsthand how God's favor works. But their recognition is not what you need, and their validation was never required. The only approval that matters is God's, and He has already chosen you. Your journey is not just about you. Your breakthrough is meant to inspire, to uplift, and to remind others that faith, perseverance, and divine alignment always lead to victory. Your testimony will bring hope to those who are still in their waiting season, proving that God is always faithful. So stand tall, chosen one. Everything that was meant to break you has only made you stronger. The struggle, the moments of just barely getting by, the nights of questioning if you would ever see the light, it is over. God is opening doors you never even knew existed. He is placing you in rooms you never thought you would enter. The things you once longed for, prayed for, and fought for are now within your grasp. This is not just another season. This is your season of overflow, abundance, and divine transformation. The enemy tried to trap you in a cycle of lack, doubt, and fear, but those chains are breaking. You are stepping into generational wealth, divine opportunities, and a future far greater than anything you imagined. But with this blessing comes a responsibility to be wise, discerning, and steadfast. Not everyone will be happy for you. Not everyone will celebrate your breakthrough. Some will question, why you? Some will wonder, why now? But their opinions hold no power over what God has ordained. Do not waste your time explaining yourself to those who will never understand. Do not look back at the people who tried to keep you small. They will watch from the sidelines as you step into your abundance. And when they ask how it happened, when they wonder why you, the answer will be simple. Because God said so. What is happening in your life right now is not just a one-time blessing. This is a continuous flow of divine favor. This is not temporary, not fleeting, not here today and gone tomorrow. This is overflow. You have been tested in the fire, refined through trials, and shaped by seasons of waiting where it seemed like everything was working against you. But through it all, God was preparing you, strengthening you, and molding you into the person who could carry the weight of the blessing that is now being released. Now, because you remained steadfast, because you refused to give up when giving up seemed like the only option, you are stepping into a life of abundance. What once seemed impossible is now your reality. The doors that were once shut are now wide open. The opportunities you never thought would come are now falling into place effortlessly. Everything that was delayed is now being delivered. But remember this wealth, this success, this breakthrough. It is not just for you. It is for a higher purpose. God is blessing you so that you can be a blessing. He is entrusting you with influence, resources, and opportunities, not for selfish gain, but so that you can impact lives, uplift others, and be a living testimony of His faithfulness. This is bigger than material wealth. This is legacy. This is kingdom work. This is destiny unfolding. Walk boldly into this new season, but walk with wisdom. Remain humble, remain grateful, and never forget that every good thing in your life is a gift from above. This is your time. Step into it with confidence, knowing that God has prepared you for this exact moment. He is giving you influence, resources, and opportunities, not for selfish gain, but so that you can be a beacon of His power and love. What is happening in your life is not just about personal success. It is about God's glory being revealed through you. When people see your elevation, they will know, this was not luck, this was not human effort, this was the hand of God. Everything you have endured, every challenge you have overcome, has led you to this exact moment. Get ready, chosen one. This is it. This is your moment. This is your breakthrough. This is the shift you have been waiting for. Everything that once worked against you is now aligning in your favor. The right people, the right opportunities, the right resources. All of it is coming together in divine order. The delays are over. The obstacles that once seemed impossible to move are now clearing before your eyes. What was once a dream is now a reality. One day, you will look back at this very moment and realize it was the turning point. the moment everything changed, the moment when the waiting ended, the doors opened, and the breakthrough you had been praying for finally arrived. You will remember this as the day you stepped into your divine destiny. So do not hesitate. Do not shrink back. Do not let fear or doubt hold you captive. You have not come this far just to stop now. Everything you have endured, every battle you have fought, and every tear you have shed has led you to this very moment. This is not just about material wealth. It is about legacy, purpose, and generational blessings. What God is doing through you will not stop with you. Your obedience, your faith, and your endurance are paving the way for those who will come after you. The chains of struggle, lack, and limitation that have bound your family for generations are breaking with you. God is not just blessing you for your own sake. He is using you to create a ripple effect of abundance that will flow for generations. What was once locked is now open. The barriers that once stood in your way are being removed. The very opportunities you thought were out of reach are now appearing before you. What once seemed distant is now within your grasp. The dreams you carried in your heart, the prayers you whispered in faith, the visions that felt too big, they are now becoming your reality. This is your time. Not tomorrow, not someday, right now. This is the season where divine alignment meets divine acceleration. Everything is shifting in your favor, and nothing can stop what God has set in motion. Step into it. Claim it. Own it. Walk boldly, with your head held high, knowing that you were made for this moment. God has positioned you for victory, and nothing will ever be the same again. The struggles of the past are behind you, and the abundance of the future is ahead. This is your season of victory. Walk into it with confidence, for you are chosen, you are favored, and your time has come. As you step into this new season, remember who you are and who has called you. You are not here by accident. God has chosen you, prepared you, and positioned you for such a time as this. The struggles, the waiting, the disappointments, they were all part of the process, shaping you into the person who can now walk boldly in abundance, purpose, and divine favor. So move forward with confidence and faith. Do not let fear hold you back. Do not allow doubt to rob you of what is already yours. This is your season, your moment, your divine breakthrough. And as you rise, may your testimony be a light to others, a reminder that God's promises are always fulfilled in His perfect timing. If this message has resonated with you, take a moment to activate this shift in your life. Like this video, comment, "I receive it," and subscribe so you never miss another word of encouragement. Your journey is just beginning, and we are here to walk it with you. Thank you for being part of this community. Your best days are ahead. Get ready, because what God has set in motion, nothing can stop. Let me begin by asking you a question that may seem simple at first, but I want you to truly reflect on it. What are you allowing into your life right now that could be silently lowering your vibration? Because here's the truth. Your life, your energy, and your reality are all deeply intertwined with the vibrational frequency you hold. Everything you touch, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, either elevates you or weighs you down. As a chosen one, your energy is sacred. It is the light that fuels your purpose, the force that attracts blessings, and the key to manifesting the reality you were destined to live. But if you are serious about stepping into your purpose, if you are truly committed to maintaining high vibrations, you must be mindful of the things that lower your frequency. Now, have you ever felt a heaviness in your spirit after engaging with something or someone that drained your energy? That sense of unease when you ignored your intuition and interacted with something that just didn't feel right? Yet how often do we dismiss those feelings? How often do we convince ourselves that it's harmless, that it doesn't really matter, that we can rise above it? But here's something you must understand. Energy is contagious. Vibrations are real, and everything in this world, from people to ideas to emotions, carries a frequency. When you engage with something of a lower vibration, no matter how strong you think you are, it affects you. It pulls you down, sometimes so subtly that you don't even realize it until it's too late. So let's get into it. If you are truly dedicated to keeping your vibrations high, there are certain things you must never touch. The first and most dangerous thing you must avoid is toxic relationships. And this isn't just about romantic relationships. It extends to every connection in your life, including friendships, family members, co-workers, and even acquaintances who bring negativity into your space. Toxicity does not always come in obvious forms. Sometimes it hides behind the mask of familiarity, obligation, or even love. But regardless of how it presents itself, one undeniable truth remains. These relationships have the power to lower your vibration, drain your energy, and pull you away from your highest self. You know exactly who these people are. They are the ones who criticize more than they encourage, who gossip instead of uplift, who seem to take more from you than they ever give. These are the individuals who operate from a place of negativity, who constantly complain, judge, and spread fear. And while it's easy to justify keeping them around, because of shared history, because they are family, because you don't want to seem unkind, the reality is that every relationship is an energy exchange. Every time you engage with someone, you are absorbing some of their energy, while also giving away some of your own. If you are constantly surrounded by those who vibrate at a lower frequency, it is only a matter of time before their energy begins to influence you, subtly shifting your thoughts, emotions, and even your perception of yourself. Yet, despite knowing how draining these connections can be, many of us continue to hold on. Why? Because of fear. The fear of being alone, the fear of confrontation, or the fear of change. We tell ourselves that we owe these relationships something, that walking away would be selfish or cruel. Some of us believe we can fix them, that if we just love them enough, support them enough, or guide them in the right direction, they will change. But here's a hard truth that many chosen ones struggle to accept. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot save someone who refuses to save themselves. No matter how much love and light you bring into a relationship, if the other person is unwilling to rise, they will only pull you down in the process. And here's the dangerous part. This kind of energy drain does not always happen suddenly or dramatically. More often than not, it is a slow and subtle erosion of your spirit. One negative conversation at a time. One instance of self-doubt planted by their words. One moment of absorbing their pessimism and carrying it as your own. Before you know it, you find yourself more anxious, more doubtful, more exhausted than before, wondering why your light feels dimmer and your energy feels heavier. So how do you break free? The first step is awareness. Recognizing the relationships that are no longer serving your highest good is essential. Pay attention to how you feel after interacting with someone. Do you feel uplifted, inspired, and aligned? Or do you feel drained, frustrated, and disconnected from yourself? Your emotions are your greatest guide. They will always reveal who is adding to your energy and who is depleting it. Once you have identified the toxic connections in your life, the next step is the hardest one: letting go. This does not always mean cutting people off completely, but it does mean setting firm boundaries and protecting your energy. Some people will not understand your decision to step back, and that is okay. You do not owe anyone an explanation for choosing peace over chaos, light over darkness, or self-preservation over self-sacrifice. This journey is not easy. You may grieve the loss of certain relationships, even if you know they were unhealthy. But remember this: growth often requires separation. Just as a tree must shed its dead leaves to make room for new growth, you must release what is no longer serving you to make space for what is meant to flourish in your life. Protecting your vibration is not selfish. It is necessary. Your energy is sacred, and it should only be shared with those who respect and honor it. If someone is not contributing to your growth, your joy, and your higher purpose, then they do not deserve a front row seat in your life. At the end of the day, being a chosen one means being discerning about who and what you allow into your energetic space. Not everyone who is drawn to your light is meant to walk this path with you. Some people come into your life as lessons, while others are meant to walk beside you as blessings. The key is knowing the difference and having the courage to release anything that no longer aligns with your highest self. Now, Let's talk about something even more subtle but just as dangerous: the content you consume. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with information. Think about how much time we spend scrolling through social media, watching TV, listening to music, reading the news, or even just mindlessly absorbing whatever pops up on our screens. Content is everywhere, and it never stops. The question is, what are you allowing into your mind? Most people don't realize that every word, every image, every sound carries a vibration. Everything you expose yourself to has the potential to either elevate your energy or lower it. Some content is uplifting, inspiring, and aligned with the frequency you are trying to hold. But much of it is not. In fact, a significant portion of the content we consume daily is designed to do the exact opposite. It is programmed to keep you in fear, trap you in comparison, and hold you in a mindset of judgment and lack. Social media, for example, can be one of the biggest culprits. We scroll mindlessly, consuming a mix of negativity, unrealistic standards, and carefully curated versions of people's lives that make us feel as though we are falling behind. Without realizing it, we begin to compare ourselves to these filtered realities, questioning our own worth and accomplishments. We see headlines designed to provoke anxiety, influencers promoting unattainable lifestyles and endless opinions that may not align with our truth, yet somehow infiltrate our subconscious. And the scariest part? We don't even realize it's happening. We tell ourselves, it's just entertainment, it's just background noise, or it doesn't really affect me. But here's the truth. The content you consume becomes the thoughts you think, and the thoughts you think shape the reality you create. Every single time you expose yourself to fear-based news, gossip, or negativity, you are allowing that energy into your mental space. Every time you listen to music with lyrics that glorify pain, anger, or self-destruction, you are reinforcing those emotions within yourself. Every time you engage with content that promotes scarcity, insecurity, or division, you are programming your mind to see the world through that lens. And it doesn't just stop at social media or music. The movies you watch, the books you read, the conversations you engage in, all of it contributes to your mental and emotional state. If you are not consciously choosing what you allow into your mind, then the world is programming it for you. So, ask yourself, are you consuming content that elevates you or content that lowers you? Because here's the thing. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have for creating your reality. Whatever you feed it consistently will become the foundation of your thoughts, emotions, and ultimately, your actions. If you constantly expose yourself to negativity, fear, and division, you will begin to see the world through that perspective. But if you choose to fill your mind with wisdom, inspiration, and high vibrational content, your perception of life will shift accordingly. The good news? You have control. You get to decide what you engage with. You get to curate your mental diet just as carefully as you would your physical one. Just as you wouldn't willingly consume poison, you must learn to avoid mental toxins that weaken your energy and keep you stuck in lower frequencies. Here's how you can start protecting your mind. Be intentional about your content choices. Before engaging with anything, whether it's a movie, a book, or a social media post, ask yourself, how will this affect my energy? Does this align with the vibration I want to hold? If it doesn't serve you, don't engage. Unfollow negativity. Social media can be a powerful tool when used wisely. If a page, account, or channel constantly spreads fear, drama, or unrealistic comparisons, unfollow it. Surround your feed with content that uplifts, educates, and inspires. Limit news consumption. Staying informed is important, but being bombarded with fear-driven headlines daily is not. The media thrives on sensationalism, and constant exposure to negative news can leave you feeling anxious, hopeless, and drained. Choose when and how you receive information, and focus on solutions rather than problems. Be mindful of music and entertainment. Lyrics, stories, and images have a profound effect on the subconscious mind. Pay attention to what you're listening to and watching. If the energy behind it is destructive, chaotic, or heavy, consider choosing something more uplifting. Prioritize real-world experiences. Instead of spending hours consuming content online, Engage with real life. Read books that expand your mind. Have meaningful conversations with people who inspire you. Spend time in nature, meditate, and connect with yourself. At the end of the day, your mind is sacred space. Guard it fiercely. The world will always try to pull you into distraction, fear, and comparison, but you have the power to choose what you engage with. The more intentional you are about the content you consume, the higher your vibration will be, and the more aligned you will become with the life you were meant to live. But it's not just the people you surround yourself with or the content you consume that you need to be mindful of. It's also your own habits. The things you do when no one is watching, the choices you make daily, the way you treat your body, your mind, and your spirit. All of these play a significant role in shaping your energy. Whether you realize it or not, every action you take carries a vibration. Some actions strengthen your energy, elevate your frequency, and bring you closer to your higher self. Others weaken you, drain your vitality, and pull you away from your true purpose. So let's talk about the aspects of your daily life that silently influence your vibration. Number 1. The foods you eat, fuel or poison. Your body is the vessel that carries your energy in this physical world. What you put into it directly affects how you feel, how you think, and how you function. Yet so many of us treat food as an afterthought, consuming whatever is convenient rather than what is nourishing. But here's something to consider. Food carries energy, just like everything else. Fresh, whole, and nutrient-dense foods, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and natural, unprocessed ingredients are alive with energy. They fuel your body in a way that aligns with your natural state of vitality. On the other hand, highly processed foods, artificial ingredients, excessive sugar, and chemical-laden junk food are low vibrational and deplete your body's natural energy reserves. These foods may give you a temporary sense of satisfaction, but over time, they leave you feeling sluggish, drained, and disconnected from your highest self. Ask yourself, are you eating foods that nourish your body, or are you consuming things that leave you feeling heavy and lethargic? Because here's the truth. The more you fuel your body with high vibrational nutrition, the more aligned you become. Your mind becomes clearer, your intuition sharpens, and your physical energy strengthens, all of which contribute to maintaining a high frequency. Number 2, the thoughts you entertain. Your mind is a magnet. Your thoughts are like seeds. Whatever you plant in your mind will eventually grow into your reality. Every thought you entertain, whether positive or negative, carries a frequency. The question is, are you feeding your mind with empowering thoughts, or are you allowing negativity to take over? So many people unconsciously program their minds with self-doubt, fear, and limitation. They replay past mistakes, focus on what could go wrong, and tell themselves stories about why they're not good enough, not ready, or not capable. Over time, these thoughts shape their entire perception of life, creating a cycle of low vibrational energy that becomes difficult to break free from. But here's the good news. You have control over your thoughts. You are not obligated to believe everything your mind tells you. You have the power to redirect your focus, to reframe negativity, and to choose thoughts that align with your highest self. Ask yourself, do you wake up with a mindset of gratitude and possibility, or do you immediately focus on stress and problems? Your mind is a magnet. What you focus on, you attract. If you continuously allow yourself to dwell in negativity, you will lower your vibration and struggle to manifest the life you desire. But if you fill your mind with empowering thoughts, positive affirmations, and high-frequency beliefs, you will elevate yourself to a state of alignment and abundance. Number 3, how you spend your time. Purpose or distraction. Time is one of the most valuable resources you have, yet many people waste it on things that do not serve them. Mindlessly scrolling through social media, binge-watching TV shows that add no value, engaging in gossip or distracting themselves with activities that provide temporary satisfaction but no long-term fulfillment. Your energy follows your focus. If you spend most of your time on low vibrational activities, your energy will reflect that. But if you consciously choose to invest your time in things that uplift, inspire, and align with your purpose, you will naturally operate at a higher frequency. Ask yourself, are you spending your time on things that align with your purpose, or are you letting distractions consume you? The way you spend your time reflects what you value. If you truly want to maintain a high vibration, you must be intentional with your energy and ensure that your actions align with your higher self. Number 4, living in alignment with your truth. Nothing lowers your vibration faster than betraying your own truth. When you say one thing but do another, when you ignore your intuition, when you compromise your values for the sake of convenience, approval, or fear, you create an internal disconnect, and that disconnect is like a leak in your energy field. It may be subtle at first, but over time, it drains you in ways you may not even realize. Every time you ignore your inner guidance, every time you allow external influences to dictate your choices, and every time you sacrifice your authenticity to fit in or please others, you weaken your energetic alignment. The result? A feeling of unease, dissatisfaction, and a loss of connection to your higher self. But here's the empowering truth. You can always realign. You can always choose to return to your truth, to honor your intuition, and to live in a way that reflects who you truly are. Ask yourself, are you making decisions that reflect your true values and beliefs, or are you allowing outside forces to dictate your path? Your energy is too valuable to be wasted on anything that is not in alignment with your soul's purpose. If something doesn't feel right, it's a sign that it's lowering your vibration. Honor that feeling. Protect your energy. Live in alignment with your truth, and your vibration will naturally rise. But let's go even deeper, because it's not just external things that lower your vibration. It's the internal ones too. The unseen burdens you carry within you, the thoughts you replay, the emotions you refuse to release. These can be even more damaging than the people or environments around you. How often do we allow our past to define us? We replay old wounds in our minds, reliving painful experiences as if feeling them again will somehow change what has already happened. We hold on to resentment, unable to forgive, believing that keeping the pain alive will somehow serve justice. We carry guilt over things we cannot undo, shame over moments where we fell short, and fear that we are still not enough. And then, there are the stories we tell ourselves, the ones that keep us small. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve happiness. I'll never succeed. I'm too broken to heal. These thoughts become chains, silently anchoring you to a lower vibration. They are insidious because they operate beneath the surface, shaping your perception of yourself and the world around you. And the longer you hold on to them, the more power they gain over you. But here's the truth you need to remember. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your fears. Every time you dwell on them, you are handing over your power, allowing them to dim your light and dictate your future. But you were never meant to live in limitation. You are more powerful than you realize. And the moment you choose to release fear, doubt, and the stories of lack, you begin to rise. You step into your true power. You reclaim your energy. And when you do, you vibrate at a frequency that attracts healing, abundance, and purpose. So now let me ask you again. What are you willing to let go of to protect your vibration? Are you ready to release toxic relationships that drain your energy and keep you stuck in cycles of negativity? Will you step away from negative content that fills your mind with fear, doubt, and comparison? Are you willing to break free from self-sabotaging habits that hold you back from stepping into your highest potential? And perhaps most importantly, are you ready to free yourself from fear and limiting beliefs? The silent forces that whisper you're not enough, that keep you playing small when you were meant to shine? Because the truth is, the cost of holding on to these things is far greater than the temporary discomfort of letting them go. Growth requires release. Transformation demands space. And when you finally decide to let go of what no longer serves you, When you create room for higher frequencies to enter your life, you will begin to experience a powerful shift. Your energy will feel lighter, your path will feel clearer, and your purpose will feel closer than ever before. Your energy is sacred. Protect it, honor it, guard it fiercely. Because the world needs your light now more than ever. You were not meant to dim your radiance to make others comfortable. You were not meant to live in fear, in lack, in self-doubt. You were meant to rise. And today, you have the power to choose that path. If this message resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What are you releasing today to protect your vibration? And if you're ready to step fully into your power, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another message to elevate your energy. Let's rise together. They looked at you standing alone and thought they had the upper hand. Their numbers gave them false confidence. But here's what they didn't understand. When faced with someone like you, driven by purpose, armed with unshakable faith, and guided by a divine force, their numbers are meaningless. You are not just one person. You are a force. You are a storm. And that terrifies them. It isn't what you do that sends chills down their spines. It's who you are. A single, unwavering presence, unbent by fear, unshaken by opposition, and unstoppable in your mission. You are a living reminder of their fragility. A lone figure standing tall while they huddle together, whispering, scheming, and clinging to the illusion of strength found in numbers. If this message resonates with you, if it fuels your spirit and reminds you of your own unstoppable potential, take a moment to join this journey. Subscribe to the channel for more stories that inspire, uplift, and remind us of the power of faith and purpose. Together, we'll uncover the truth of who we are meant to be and stand tall in our calling. Hit that subscribe button now and step into your destiny, because the world needs more forces like you. Their so-called power is a fragile illusion, built on numbers, alliances, and the shallow comfort of groupthink. Witches, warlocks, gossipers, and cliques of envy. They thrive in the shadows, weaving false narratives and whispering lies, mistaking collective agreement for true strength. They huddle together, drawing false courage from their alliances, believing their numbers make them invincible. But their strength is as delicate as glass, shattering under the weight of one individual who stands tall, unwavering, and moves with divine purpose. What terrifies them most isn't your actions, it's your independence. They fear the way you stand alone, undeterred by their schemes and untouchable by their manipulations. Your strength doesn't come from their approval, their alliances, or their validation. While they depend on the noise of their groups to mask their fragility, you walk in silence, resolute, focused, and unstoppable. In you, they see everything they lack. Your clarity, your fearlessness, your unshakable resolve. It all serves as a mirror to their insecurities. While they cling to each other, you stand apart, exposing the truth they work so hard to hide. Their power is nothing more than a mirage, their unity a fragile crutch propping up their fear of standing alone. You don't just walk with independence, you embody it. You prove that true strength doesn't need numbers to thrive. It is rooted in purpose, fortified by faith, and unstoppable when guided by something greater. And that is why they fear you. You are the force that shatters their illusions and reminds them of the truth they dare not face. Your solitude is not a weakness, it is your greatest strength. It is a deliberate, strategic position, one that allows you to stand unburdened by distractions or the weight of false alliances. In stripping away the unnecessary, you have uncovered the core of your mission, the pure and unshakable essence of your purpose. Every step you take is deliberate, every decision rooted in clarity and focus. You are not scattered or uncertain like those who huddle in groups for validation. Instead, you move with the precision of someone guided by a higher calling. While they scramble to gather allies, trying desperately to reinforce their fragile sense of control, you stride forward with a quiet confidence that speaks louder than all their noise. Their strength is superficial, built on numbers and held together by fear. But your solitude has refined you. It has sharpened your focus, strengthened your resolve, and set you apart as a beacon of clarity and self-assuredness. They see your independence as a threat because it shines a glaring light on their dependency. They rely on their numbers, clinging to one another like shipwrecked sailors clutching at driftwood, while you stand firm, like a lighthouse cutting through the chaos of their storm. Your calm, unshaken presence exposes their fragility. This is why they fear you. Your solitude isn't isolation, it's liberation. Free from their noise and schemes, you are able to see clearly and act decisively. Your independence is a testament to your strength, a force that cuts through their illusions like a blade, leaving nothing but truth in its wake. You don't just walk alone, you thrive alone, proving that true power lies not in numbers, but in purpose. History is filled with extraordinary individuals who, like you, stood alone and dismantled the false empires of their time. These are the ones who faced overwhelming odds, yet their unshakable faith, clarity of purpose, and divine alignment made them unstoppable. Elijah is one such figure. Alone on Mount Carmel, he stood against hundreds of false prophets who claimed power and truth through their numbers. Elijah didn't waver. He didn't need a crowd or the validation of others to confirm his mission. His unwavering trust in God was all he needed to call down fire from heaven, exposing the lies of an entire nation and demonstrating the undeniable power of truth. Buddha's story, too, is one of transformative solitude. Beneath the Bodhi tree, surrounded by temptations, distractions, and challenges, he found clarity not in the noise of the world, but in the silence of stillness. It was there, in solitude, that he attained enlightenment, a wisdom so profound it would ripple through humanity for millennia, reshaping entire civilizations. His choice to embrace solitude was not an escape. It was an act of deep purpose, allowing him to see beyond the illusions of the world. St. Francis of Assisi turned away from the wealth and clamor of society to embrace simplicity and quiet devotion. In solitude, he discovered spiritual truths that redefined faith and inspired countless others to seek a deeper, more authentic connection with God. His resolve, born out of silence and humility, stood as a challenge to the materialism and noise of his time. Like these individuals, your independence is not isolation, it is strength. It is a declaration that you do not rely on the shifting sands of collective validation to find purpose. Instead, you draw power from a deeper source. Your unwavering resolve is a mirror, revealing the fragility of the systems and illusions that others depend on. You, like them, are proof that one aligned soul can challenge and dismantle even the mightiest of falsehoods. You embody a courage that most people can only dream of. It is the rare kind of bravery that pushes beyond fear and comfort, the same courage Christopher Columbus alluded to when he said, "You can never cross the ocean unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore." While others cling to the safety of familiarity, terrified to step into the unknown, you stride forward, guided not by what you see, but by a faith that burns brighter than any uncertainty. Your purpose is your compass, and your resolve is unshakable. This independence terrifies them because it forces them to confront their deepest inadequacies. In you, they see everything they lack: clarity, strength, and the audacity to walk alone without needing validation or reassurance. While they depend on the crutch of numbers and alliances, you walk with unwavering confidence, showing that true power doesn't come from the approval of others but from a higher calling. Their power is built on illusions, on fear, manipulation, and the fragile belief that they can control those around them. But you've torn through those illusions, dismantling their schemes and exposing their vulnerabilities. Your clarity cuts through their chaos like a sword, leaving them powerless in the face of your truth. You don't just stand apart, you shine. Your courage is disruptive because it reveals that strength doesn't come from the noise of the crowd but from the stillness of purpose. They fear you because you are a reminder of what they could be if they had the bravery to step away from their illusions, but they don't. And so they tremble, powerless against the light you carry. You are not just moving forward. You are a radiant force of light cutting through the thickest darkness. They thrive in shadows, weaving schemes, sowing confusion, and planting seeds of doubt in those they seek to control. But your presence disrupts their plans like a blazing beacon in the night, exposing their hidden agendas and rendering their efforts powerless. Your calm, steady confidence doesn't just silence their whispers, it obliterates them. Their lies crumble under the sheer weight of your unwavering resolve, leaving them nowhere to hide. Your resilience is more than just a shield. It is a mirror. It forces them to confront their deepest fears and insecurities, reflecting back the truth of their own fragility. While they try to control through fear, manipulation, and deceit, you remain steadfast, unshaken by their attempts. Each time they try to rattle you, your strength only serves to reveal the emptiness of their tactics. You don't just endure their chaos, you operate above it, with precision and clarity they cannot match. They spread fear in the hopes of paralyzing others, but you radiate fearlessness. Your confidence is disarming, a quiet yet undeniable force that leaves them scrambling for answers. While they hide behind deception, you stand firm in truth. Your ability to move with purpose, unencumbered by doubt or fear, reveals the futility of their schemes. You are a force they cannot comprehend, a light they cannot extinguish. And with every step you take, their shadows retreat, unable to stand in the face of the fearless clarity you embody. Adversity has always been their weapon, their way of breaking others down and seizing control. But for you, it has become a proving ground, a place where your strength has been refined and your resolve fortified. Every challenge they've hurled at you, every attempt to break your spirit, has only served to make you stronger. Like gold refined in the intense heat of a furnace, your trials have purified you, stripping away doubt and fear and leaving behind an unshakable faith and clarity of purpose. They thought their schemes, lies, and manipulations would extinguish your light, but all they've done is make it burn brighter. Each obstacle they placed in your path has become a stepping stone, lifting you higher, closer to the fulfillment of your mission. What they meant for harm, God has turned into good, transforming their weapons into tools for your growth. Every victory you claim is more than just a personal milestone. It's a testament to the divine power guiding you. Unlike their fleeting triumphs, built on deceit, compromise, and manipulation, your success is clean, untarnished, and undeniable. Your triumphs shine as proof of a life lived in alignment with God's will, a reflection of what happens when faith is your foundation and purpose is your compass. Their efforts to destroy you have only strengthened the very things they sought to weaken. Your resilience has become an unmovable force, and your faith has become a radiant light that exposes their shadows. You are living proof that adversity does not define you, it refines you, preparing you for greater victories and aligning you ever closer with the purpose you are meant to fulfill. You are not merely weathering the storm. You are the storm. Your very presence disrupts their carefully laid plans, sending shockwaves through their strategies and scattering their efforts like leaves in a fierce wind. They have spent so much time constructing fragile webs of influence and control, only to watch them unravel in the face of your unwavering strength. Every step you take, every move you make, is a declaration that their power was never real. It was always an illusion, built on fear and manipulation. You expose this truth with every act of courage and clarity. What truly terrifies them is not the idea of losing control over you. It's the realization that they never had it in the first place. They relied on intimidation, deceit, and the hope that you would falter, but your fearlessness has dismantled their strategies before they even had a chance to take root. They depend on uncertainty and doubt, planting seeds of hesitation in others to maintain their grip on power. But you deny them that foothold. You move with confidence and faith, leaving no room for their schemes to gain traction. Your strength is something they cannot replicate, a clarity they cannot disrupt, and a faith they cannot silence. They scramble to regain a sense of control, but their efforts are futile in the face of your steady resolve. You are a force they never anticipated, a storm they cannot predict, and a power they cannot contain. Their illusions crumble, their fears are laid bare, and their hold on others disintegrates as they come to terms with the undeniable truth. You are unstoppable. You are far more than just one person standing against opposition. You are a force of nature, an uncontainable power that cannot be subdued or silenced. Your authority is not rooted in numbers, alliances, or worldly validation. It flows from a divine source that they cannot comprehend, let alone manipulate. While they scramble for agreement and cling to the shifting sands of collective opinion, you remain unshaken. You stand firm, like a mountain rising above the storm, immovable and steadfast, no matter how fiercely the winds of opposition rage against you. Your independence is not isolation, it is liberation. It is the freedom to move with clarity and precision, unburdened by the distractions, doubts, and schemes that weigh others down. You are not confined by the expectations of others or the need for their approval. Instead, you are guided by a higher calling, one that infuses your every step with purpose and power. Every victory you achieve is more than just a personal triumph. It is a testament to the strength that comes from walking in alignment with something greater than yourself. It is a declaration of what is possible when faith, focus, and divine guidance come together. While they stumble in confusion, weighed down by the chaos they create, you move forward with calm confidence, a living embodiment of clarity and purpose. Your presence is a challenge to their very foundation. It reveals the fragility of the systems they depend on and the emptiness of their collective strength. They see in you the undeniable truth. True power does not come from numbers or manipulation, but from an unwavering connection to something eternal. And that truth is your greatest victory. They cling desperately to their numbers, gathering in groups and alliances, hoping that the illusion of collective strength will hide the truth. They believe their numbers make them powerful, that the weight of their combined voices can drown out what they fear most, the undeniable light of truth. But their power is a facade, a fragile construct held together by fear, manipulation, and deception. They depend on intimidation, spreading lies and creating chaos. But their schemes crumble when confronted by someone like you, someone who walks in unwavering truth. You have exposed them for what they are, weak, hollow, and dependent on the approval of others to feel powerful. Their strength has no foundation because it is rooted in shadows, designed to exploit insecurity. But you are a disruptor, a breaker of chains. You shine a light so bright that their darkness has nowhere to hide. Their whispers fade into irrelevance. Their lies dissolve under the weight of your truth, and their schemes fail in the face of your clarity. Your strength doesn't come from external validation or the fleeting approval of others. It is born of an unshakable inner resolve, fortified by purpose and guided by divine alignment. You are proof that true power is not loud or boastful. It is quiet, steady, and unmovable. Your presence alone challenges the systems they've built, forcing them to confront their dependency on illusions. You are living testimony to the truth they fear to face, that their numbers, their schemes, and their control are powerless against someone who stands firm in their calling. You don't just survive their opposition, you dismantle it one step at a time, with the unyielding strength of someone who moves in truth. They cannot control what they cannot understand, and you are beyond their comprehension. Your strength doesn't fit into their framework, and that terrifies them. It is not something they can manipulate, diminish, or replicate, because it flows from a higher power, one they cannot reach, influence, or even grasp. This divine connection is the foundation of your resolve, the source of your clarity, and the reason you cannot be shaken. That is why they fear you. That is why they will never win. You move with quiet assurance, your actions speaking louder than their noise or schemes ever could. While they clamor for attention and gather in groups to bolster their fragile sense of power, you move in silence, confident in your purpose. Every step you take is deliberate, guided by faith, and unyielding in its precision. You stride forward with the calm assurance of someone who knows their path is divinely aligned, and that knowledge makes you unstoppable. While they rely on collective noise to drown out their fears, you stand apart, a solitary force that commands attention without saying a word. Your strength is not found in numbers or alliances, but in the quiet, unshakable certainty of who you are and who has sent you. Their schemes falter, and their confidence crumbles when confronted with your unwavering presence. You are a reminder of what they lack: the ability to stand alone, the clarity of divine guidance, and the power of a purpose greater than themselves. They cannot control or predict you, and that is why you are unstoppable. You don't just move forward, you move with purpose, leaving their illusions shattered in your wake. You don't just expose their illusions, you shatter them completely. Every victory you claim, every step you take forward, is a bold declaration that their power was never real. It was always a fragile mirage, built on fear and manipulation. Their threats dissolve like smoke when confronted with your unwavering resolve. You are not just surviving their opposition, you are thriving in the midst of it. You are the storm they cannot predict, the force they cannot contain, and the truth they cannot silence. This is why they fear you, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. You are living proof that true strength flows not from numbers or schemes, but from faith, clarity, and divine purpose. Each step you take sends a ripple through their illusions, proving that their power pales in comparison to the eternal, unshakable force that guides you. Your presence isn't just a challenge to their plans, it is a revelation of a higher truth they cannot suppress. If this message resonates with you and has reminded you of the power of walking in faith and purpose, we invite you to join us on this journey. Your support means so much, and together, we can continue to shine light into the darkest corners. Subscribe to the channel to explore more uplifting stories, empowering messages, and reflections that inspire strength and clarity in every step you take. Thank you for being part of this community, and remember, your journey is divinely guided and your power is greater than you realize.